Well, Fester, what about P. Diddy? Did you sleep on the couch in the performance studio again?
Okay, so
you look all disheveled. You're like walking in like Walking Dead this morning.
Well, that's not true. I'm wide awake.
All
I'm
right.
very excited for
Answer my
today's show.
question. Did you sleep in the studio again this morning?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Of course not.
No, you had that look. You kind of like that dazed and confused look that you had yesterday morning when you stumbled in right about now.
No, I'm getting tired. Just
Right
leaving
about
something.
now.
No,
Funk Soul Brother, right? Is that what song was that? Right about now.
Yeah, Funk Soul
Brother, right about now. You all right? Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's great.
Hey, what about P. Diddy, man? How about that? Everyone, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. News broke, what, about 10 o'clock last night?
I don't know what happened to P.
Get out of here, really?
I don't know. I watched Monday Night Football and went to bed.
So do we. We watch Monday Night Football,
What?
and you don't have a phone? You don't have the internet?
Did P. Diddy catch a reception for the Atlanta Falcons? Did I miss it? What? I don't know. If it didn't happen on Monday Night Football after 9:45, I don't know.
Yeah, looks like Dude, the news breaks. Do you not have any breaking news? Do you have nothing that pops up on your phone? You don't check various news sources?
No. I put the phone down eventually.
Yeah, P. Diddy arrested in New York. And looks like the indictment is going to be unsealed later this morning, hopefully before the MJ Morning Show completes this morning's rotation.
Oh, no. Poor P.
Yeah, P. Diddy. And very interestingly, I kind of predicted that something's got to be coming down at some point. So you know what P. Diddy said when he was arrested in New York last night, right?
What did he say?
I'm shocked at this information.
Yeah, all right. So
I bet he was.
I love that soundbite.
I'm shocked at this information.
You know what? I bet he wasn't. He had to have known it was coming.
Yeah, love it.
I'm shocked at this information.
I got to play for you audio of me last week. You weren't here. You were at your RV deal up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And, folks, if you don't know the deal, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in New York City at a hotel by HSI, Homeland Security. And this is all part of this sex trafficking investigation. Yeah, last night, Sean Diddy Combs. We'll get into this in much greater detail later on. I just want to open the show with this because this is, humongalicious breaking news. Yeah, so the word is that Diddy was in New York somewhat voluntarily, anticipating that he was going to be arrested on federal charges due to a grand jury indictment, according to sources, to various media outlets, and federal prosecutors. Yeah, so Diddy Combs was taken into custody at the Park Hyatt, New York, by Homeland Security investigations. At crime scenes or big events, You'll see the blue Fed jackets with HSI on the back. Everyone knows the blue FBI jackets. You've seen those for years, and even on the FBI TV shows, the blue jackets with FBI in yellow. HSI is Homeland Security Investigations, and it's the law enforcement arm of the Homeland Security Department. And they took him into custody at the Park Hyatt Hotel. And the HSI folks, they are usually the law enforcement federal agency that handles sex trafficking probes. So P. Diddy arrested. Let me play audio from last week. You were up in Hershey. You were,
Okay.
Man, I'm still bummed out for you and the lousy.
Moving on.
I'm sad for you.
Yeah. You're a giver, and I understand you're all heart. Move on. What'd you say last week?
Sales weren't great for Fester.
What'd you say last week?
I'm very concerned for you. All right. Anyway, so I want to play audio. Last week, I predicted that something was coming down. I said, come on, this is just taking too long. We know that numerous months ago, was it back in May?
When the houses were raided?
Yep, we had the Diddy homes in Miami and Los Angeles were both raided simultaneously. And they went in with search warrants trying to gather evidence for what appears to be a sex trafficking probe. Last week, while Roxanne was with me and you were away, this is from Hey, Andrew, what day was this last week? Turn on your microphone in the booth. Do you know what day this was last week?
This was the 10th.
This was the 10th. So this would have been last Tuesday, right?
A week ago today.
Yeah. A week ago today, last Tuesday, this is a clip of me on this very MJ Morning Show. Listen, I got to believe that something's coming down.
Right.
You know, the clock is tick, 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 ticking. It's just a matter of time before the shoe drops on Sean Diddy Combs.
Yeah.
Clearly, the feds have something big. The simultaneous raids in Miami and Beverly Hills and all the allegations. You know, I think that, hey, where there's smoke, there's some serious fire. And I think I'm just waiting for the day. It's got to be at some point in the next couple of months that there's the big announcement of some kind of an indictment. Little did I know it was going to be the next couple of days.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I looked at Roxanne and, you know what it was? Story came up about Diddy selling his like $61 million home that he put it on the market. That his home out in L.A., 61 mil, was being listed for sale. And I made a comment. I was speculating maybe he's trying to liquidate some assets as he gets ready for some shoes to drop on his legal problems. So that's why we brought it up. And that's why I said in the clip you just heard last Tuesday, it's got to be sometime soon. Smoke, fire, and boom! Last night, the shoe dropped all right, and Diddy has been taken into custody.
Have they done a perp walk with him? Did they walk him out through the streets of New York into the car with all the flash bulbs going off and all the reporters screaming?
He was seen walking in Manhattan just before he was taken into custody by Homeland Security. He was seen with his son, Christian. They were on the streets of New York walking around, and paparazzi has some photos.
What, you getting a Mr. Twisty or something?
Yeah. So we don't know the charges yet. The speculation is that the charges are going to be sex trafficking related. It is expected that later this morning, I don't know if it's going to be before 10 o'clock, before we shut things down, but it's expected that sometime later today that the federal indictment is going to be unsealed, and I would look for some kind of presser from the U.S. Attorney's Office up in New York. Interesting, though, I got to get a little more detail on why in New York, the raids took place in Miami and in Los Angeles, but he was taken into custody in New York. All right, more details on that, and there's a whole list of things. What is he actually charged with? I mean, I've got a whole list of the possibilities, all right?
All right.
Again, we're going to find out what he's charged with later on when the indictment is unsealed, but I do have an interesting list of all of the possibilities of what he could be facing, so we'll get to that. But that's big breaking news. It's pretty huge. All right, just getting rolling here on a Tuesday. It's going to be a busy day. Got a lot of crap in the MJ Morning Show pile as we just get cooking. At 6:08, traffic's on. Let's grab the latest. We're back in minutes on the MJ. MJ Morning Show, Q105. You're listening to 104.7 FM. Welcome, everybody. MJ and Fester Roxanne, I would imagine, is sailing the wide blue oceans right now on some Disney cruise. I don't know where they're. Where are they? They go to some Disney. Hey, Andrew, you know this crap.
Yeah.
Andrew, you've been on a Disney cruise, right? Andrew?
I can't afford those.
Yeah. Man.
Hold on. You all right, so you have a season pass to Disney properties, but you've never been on a Disney cruise?
Correct.
Yeah, the annual pass doesn't include the cruise.
You know what? We ought to start a GoFundMe for Andrew to go on a Disney cruise.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all for that.
Do you remember I started a GoFundMe to fix this studio and rebuild it when we first got here?
I remember you brought the idea
Dude,
up.
No. I launched it on the air. And the corporate folks down in Naples at our headquarters, they shut my ass down, man. I was rocking the boat just a short time into our tenure here. Can you believe that the MJ Morning Show is going to be back for 4 years in just a couple of weeks?
Wow.
October 5th. It's going to be 4 years that the MJ Morning Show returned for the second iteration after being on Clear Channel and J-Core and iHeart over across the street. You know, we came back in October of 2020, and 4-year anniversary is coming up in just a couple of weeks, October 5th. And you know what happened when I got here? See, they wanted to keep it undercover, and, you know, I signed the contract kind of quietly, and, you know, we put the whole deal together with you and Froggy, you know, on the quiet side, and they didn't want us in the building. They didn't want people to see me, and they didn't want any rumors to start flying before they made an announcement. And I had no idea how crappy these studios were.
Yeah,
and
they're pretty savvy negotiators that way.
And they had promised me that we would have a new studio by the first quarter of 2021. So, you know, October, November, December, January, February, somewhere in that range, only, 5 months away, 6 months away, a brand new studio. And here we are 4 years later, and we don't have a new studio. Now, all the equipment was ordered. They are starting to build other rooms around us, and we are in the queue, and there's a lot of moving pieces. So, we're moving to a larger room where QIK, our country station, is. So they have to move first in order for them to demolish that room. So it looks like we are on the path to finally get a new studio. But here's what happened. After months, I'm trying to remember exactly when I did this.
Was it months or just a couple of weeks?
No, I think it was a couple of months. I'm trying to remember. And on the air, I started a GoFundMe to help fund the rebuilding of brand new MJ Morning Show studios because this place is such a dump. And man, it ruffled some feathers at corporate.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, this MJ, he's trouble already. He's only been here a short amount of time. So they shut that down. But we were going to raise money to build a new studio because I didn't see any action happening around here.
Here we are. Years later.
Here we are. All right, Fester.
Yes.
From a physiological standpoint, I think you're probably. I know it's going out, but I want to know if it's potentially going in. When I saw this, I just laughed out loud, and I didn't know this existed. There's like a satirical joke-like Nobel Prize contest that's been going on, I guess, for years.
Okay.
In fact, this says it's the 34th first annual. That's funny. It's the 34th first annual IG Nobel Prize ceremony. It has nothing to do with the real Nobel Prizes.
Okay.
Zero, nothing. In fact, I'm surprised the Nobel Committee doesn't file suit. But this has been going on apparently for 34 years. I think.
What's the IG? Instagram?
No. It does not. And I don't even know if it's the 34th first annual. It might just be the first annual.
It all sounds like a prize right now.
Listen, the whole here, Fester has found the Wikipedia on this thing. The IG Nobel Prize is a satiric prize, which I know, awarded annually since 1991. All right, so it is 34 years, but I guess every year they call it the first annual. So last year was the 33rd first annual. All right. Would you like to hear which Nobel Prize, this joke satirical prize, and they do this at MIT.
Okay.
They held this last Thursday night at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And it was inspired by the Nobel Prizes, but it has no affiliation. They just ripped off their name, apparently. And there's no legal ramifications here. But I love this. One of the prizes given out, the Physiology Prize, was presented to a team of U.S. and Japanese researchers for discovering that many mammals are capable of breathing through their anus. So
they honor very less significant scientific achievements.
I am a mammal, and I can confirm that I cannot breathe through my butt.
I'll tell you what,
now, Fester,
not for a lack of trying, but
Fester, I'm thinking that if anyone in the room has the capability of this, going both ways might be you.
I mean,
that's just funny. I never heard of this damn prize. Oh, and I've got a warning for you, Fester.
I look forward to your warnings.
All right, this is an MJ Morning Show special warning for Fester. Fester,
yes.
If I were to play this sound effect, and it's a warning to you.
Oh.
I've got a big warning for you, Fester.
Oh, man.
Warning! 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 Warning!
People are waking up. What are you doing?
I'm issuing a warning.
It's a pretty strong warning. This better be the hell of a warning. It better be like a meteor hitting the planet.
It's not. This is specifically to you.
Lay it on me.
If I play this sound effect of clearly a blaze and crackling fire, why would I be directing this warning toward you?
I mean, there could be a couple of reasons.
What in your life warrants this sound effect?
I mean, well, on hot days when I wear jorts, I get a lot of heat down there.
That's not
that
it.
Could combust at any time.
Move along. Next.
Next. You could be trying to take a swipe at the next generation of car owners who embrace the technology of electric vehicles.
Okay, keep it coming. Keep it coming, love. Come on.
As opposed to you internal combustion clods who are sucking off the teat of 1904 technology.
I'm an internal combustion clod because I'm not buying into a battery powered car yet.
Yes,
right,
you sound like
meanwhile,
the outhouse.
You're driving a 2010 Cadillac DTS gas guzzling barge, and you think you're better because your wife has a Tesla? Is that it?
Listen, I'm better than nobody. However, I'm pretty even. I mean, super burner on one side, super saver on the other.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. What? It has to do with electric cars?
Yes, it does. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
I've got a warning.
Me and Elon are so grateful for your warning.
I've got a new warning about your Tesla.
Great.
Here's another story.
Ooh.
Tesla, 50,000 gallons of water used to put out a Tesla semi-fire in California.
That sounds about right.
Well, Tesla rolled out those, the tractors, the tractor trailer Teslas where they have the battery-powered tractor to pull the trailer, the semi setup, and one caught on fire. 50,000 gallons of water needed to extinguish the flames.
What is that? Is that an Olympic-sized swimming pool? I mean, what is it? Put that in perspective. I can understand.
Nah, I think that's probably less than an Olympic-sized pool.
I don't know. I go to Publix and they have like the water aisle, and that's 1 gallon, and they have 500 of them. So
California firefighters had to douse a flaming battery array in a Tesla semi. 50,000 gallons of water. This is according to the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board. In addition to the huge amount of water, firefighters used an aircraft to drop fire retardant on the immediate area of the electric truck as a precautionary measure, to make sure it didn't start the next California wildfire blaze. Yeah, firefighters said previously that the battery reached temperatures of 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's a hot fire. Yeah, thank you, firefighters.
While it was in flames.
Yes.
Oh, my God. This was a crash along Interstate 80, about 70 miles northeast of Sacramento.
All right, so 50,000 gallons sounds like a lot. However, it's one tanker truck. Or
what are you talking about? Your typical you have no idea what you're talking about.
But these batteries take a little bit more water to extinguish.
Dude, a gasoline tanker truck, a tanker truck that you see on the road hauling gasoline. How many gallons do you think are in that truck?
About 50,000 gallons.
Wrong, dude. What? Wrong. A gasoline tanker truck carries about 8,000 gallons. The gasoline tanker trucks that you see cruising down the road, stopping at your gas station, filling up their tanks in the ground, those hold like 7,800 or 8,000 gallons, somewhere in that vicinity.
All right, the average family uses
50,000. What $50,000 gasoline tanker truck is out there? Yeah, it would be
$50,000. 50,000 gallons of gas is enough. Of water is enough to fill a bolted steel tank that is 33 feet long and 8 feet high.
Yeah, dude. All right, that is not.
That's about the size.
No, it's not.
Pretty close. No, within spitting distance. It's not a pretty fair guess.
8 feet high. No, it's not. Those tanks are not. It's the gasoline tanker trucks only carry about 8,000 gallons. 50,000. It would be roughly, what, 6 trucks.
Okay.
6 to make the amount of water.
And what? Where's the bigger point here?
The bigger point is that your wife is driving a firebomb that might need 50,000.
I'll tell you right now, you have probably 20,000 listeners right here driving firebombs, shaking their head at you right now in their car to listen to you and your antiquated, 50,000.
Yeah. Antiquated. You're driving a 2010 Cadillac DTS, and I'm antiquated.
You're practically...
At least I'm driving a 2024.
I'm getting to a car pissing contest.
Man,
listen, relax.
I know how to get festive going, folks.
You're it's not that you're getting me going. It's that I feel sad for you.
Dude, what do you...
I feel sad for you.
Dude, the point is that if your Tesla catches on fire, it is a blowtorch for hours.
Let me write down a number that represents all of the craps that I give if the Tesla catches. None. I don't care. It's a 0. Right. I don't care.
Early morons in the news next. I got a great pile of morons. I mean, I have a really good pile of morons in the news next. The MJ Morning Show on Q105. Seven Nation Morons is on. You got the MJ Morning Show, MJ and Fester, and yep, it is time.
Been spending most their lives living in a moron's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a moron's paradise.
Here we go. This is a heck of a pastor right here. A pastor has pleaded guilty to trying to deep fry a McDonald's worker.
Hallelujah.
A North Carolina pastor accused of assaulting a McDonald's cook and shoving the victim's head toward the deep fryer.
I've heard of baptism by fire, but not baptism by fryer.
Has pleaded guilty to this very disturbing incident. Dwayne Wadden, 57, was busted some months ago. It was back in December. Violent confrontation at a High Point, North Carolina McDonald's. You know what High Point is big on, right?
What, furniture?
Yes, yeah, big. All the like wholesale, all the furniture outlets up there, all the buyers, the interior designers go to High Point for some like big shindigs for furniture. Yeah, yes. Walden arrived at the McDonald's. You see, the deal is he finally, I guess, pleaded guilty. This just a couple of days ago, just pleaded guilty. This happened back in December. He arrived at the McDonald's after his spouse, a manager in training, called him to report that employees were disrespecting her. LaToya Gladney, 45, told cops she wanted Wadden to assist her with this workplace issue. So she was a manager in training. Other employees were dissing her. Calls her husband, who's a pastor, and said, "Come on down here, help me out." Got some rude, disrespectful individuals.
Oh, yeah, he's emboldened by the Lord. He comes in there ready to protect his wife.
According to cops, Wadden walked into the McDonald's kitchen and began walloping cook Theodore Garlington in the face. He also allegedly wrapped his hands around Garlington's neck and began pushing his head toward the deep fryer. The other workers had to jump in to prevent his face from getting hash browned.
Pastor.
Yeah, nice.
Did he talk about this on the next sermon?
Yeah, Garlington suffered a large contusion to the forehead and right eye, along with scratches on the neck. According to the High Point, North Carolina police, Walden was arrested for the attack. During the court hearing, Walden copped to a misdemeanor assault charge and was sentenced to serve a few weeks in the county jail, while court order indicates that Wadden's prior number of convictions to be 5. Those prior convictions are not further detailed on what actually he did.
That seems awfully high for a pastor.
But whatever the story was, he was back in court just a few days ago, and he, I guess, finally took a plea. So spent some time after the bust, but I guess it took this long for the case to roll through. But, man, that's when I think of somebody's face in a deep fryer in a fast food restaurant. You know what I'm thinking of?
Were those old apple pies that they used to fry that were so delicious? They don't make those anymore. I wish they'd bring them back.
No. Oh, they don't make the apple and cherry pies anymore?
They don't fry them anymore.
They don't?
They bake them.
Oh, really?
You haven't been to McDonald's in a while, have you?
Nah, it's been a little while.
You should go.
Yeah.
But, no, what? What do you think of when you think of faces in the fryer?
The Digital Underground guy, Humpty Hump. Dude, the rumor, and may he rest in peace, because remember, he passed away right on Bierce, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of that place?
They changed the name.
Yeah, the guy from, was it the Vista something?
It was the Vista Inn.
Right.
And now it's something else. Now it's called like the Dead Humpty Hump Inn.
Oh, no, stop it. Come on.
That would have been a good
dude,
name.
He's got family locally. Come on, man.
Apologies.
Come on.
Ooh.
Dude, why are you so obnoxious this morning? It's like, what, you take obnoxious elixir this morning?
Oh, he has family in the air. Okay, listen, it happens. Guy who made his money wearing a plastic
well,
nose.
That's the story.
Singing about getting busy in a Burger King bathroom.
There was a rumor that so the story on him, and he was a local, and he died a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Shock G, right?
Yeah, was that his name?
That was his rapper
What
name.
was his real name?
Shock Gregory.
Well, anyway, he died here in Tampa at the age of 57. His real name was Gregory Edward Jacobs, known as Shock G, the Humpty Dance guy. And remember, he had that big, giant, like Mr. Potato Head plastic nose on his face. And it was a gimmick. But the rumor back then, when that song was huge back in what, like 1991? Right? Was it 91, 90, 91? The rumor was that he worked at like a McDonald's or a Burger King when he was a kid, and he tripped and went face first into the deep fryer. And it fried his nose off. And that's why he had a plastic nose on. Andrew, hold on a minute. Andrew with more fun facts about the Humpty Dance man. What do you have?
He reportedly dropped out of Chamberlain High School.
Wow.
Okay, that's a real fact, not a...
if he was, how old was he when he died?
Let me look up this guy's...
Yeah, he's 57 years old. So he went to Chamberlain High School in Tampa. Wow. So that was the rumor on him and the plastic nose, which was completely untrue. But for whatever reason, that damn thing got circulated.
So if he went to Chamberlain, he got busy at the Burger King bathroom on Bush.
You think so?
Yeah, right there. Chamberlain's right there on Bush.
Moving along. You know when you see like a bottle of cough syrup, or like you have some prescription cough syrup, or you've got prescription pills, and they put those little colorful stickers on the side of the bottle, don't drive or operate.
Heavy machinery.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at. Heavy machinery, that's correct. Guy here in Florida faces a DUI for drunkenly operating an excavator. See, clearly he just didn't heed those warnings. 62-year-old guy. Folks, it's Morons in the News. A 62-year-old guy DUI charges, Flagler County, operating heavy machinery while under the influence. Yeah, deputies said they responded to a scrapyard in Flagler County to reports of a verbal altercation and threats made by a man operating heavy machinery. According to a social media post by the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, deputies observed John Kastner operating an excavator while his normal faculties were impaired, placed under arrest for DUI. And this is at a scrapyard. This is not even like on the regular roads. You could be hit with a DUI. You're operating a bulldozer on private property. You're operating a backhoe, excavator, whatever.
This guy's drunk as a skunk. Look
Oh,
at him.
my God. Yeah, he's wearing look at him. There's video from the Flagler County Sheriff's deputies' body cams, and he's wearing a Rolling Stones wife beater T-shirt.
Good for him.
Oh, man, he looks like he's lit. Guy loaded. And then, guess he reeked of alcohol. They placed him under arrest. So please, even if you're on private property, you're not driving a steamroller or a bulldozer down the road, you can still be busted for a DUI while operating heavy machinery on private property.
They should change that law.
Wow. What?
Private property, you should be able to hire a few.
What is wrong
Guy's
with
working
you?
in a scrapyard.
What the hell is wrong with
He's
you?
not operating
You
it-
think that it's okay to be lit and liquored up while operating heavy machinery? Dude, you're a menace.
When you're at the scrapyard,
You're a fester menace to
At
society.
the scrapyard, you maybe have a. You're working around children at a playground, maybe you don't. But at the private property scrapyard, give the guy a break. Flagler County.
Dude, I mean, you amaze me every day of the week. You amaze
Give the guy
me.
a break.
Yeah, if the world ran on Fester's laws and rules and regulations,
Yeah, guys would be able to have a couple of beers while they operate heavy machinery at a private scrapyard. Yes. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd.
if you're drunk, you shouldn't be behind the wheel or levers, according to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office post. What a bonehead.
Did he say levers or levers? I'm a lever guy.
Whatever. And then finally here, I don't know if this guy was drunk. This is out of Harlan, Kentucky. That sounds like the holler, doesn't it?
Yeah, boy, down in Harlem.
Up there in the holler in Harlan, Kentucky, man.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, justified. A Kentucky lawmaker, this is a state legislator.
That's right next to Baxter.
Is it really? A Kentucky lawmaker critically injured when the lawnmower that he was riding plunged into an empty swimming pool at his home. How the hell do you drive your lawnmower into an empty swimming pool?
Dude, it happens if, you get too close, you make a turn, you misjudge something.
Oh, dude, he drove his lawnmower into the deep end of an empty pool.
Oh, poor bastard.
Yeah, Kentucky State Police, they received a 911 call shortly before 8 p.m. on Sunday. State Police had no details about what caused the accident. He was taken to a local hospital, transferred to a higher-level medical center. Injuries not immediately disclosed. Family requested prayers for a speedy recovery.
Yes. Thank you,
What
family.
the? How do you drive a lawnmower, a riding mower, into the deep end of your empty swimming pool? And why the hell was his swimming pool empty to begin with? What the hell?
Throwing all the lawn scraps in there.
God.
Turning it into a pond.
Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, we call it.
Been spending most their lives living in a moron's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a moron's paradise.
All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. 7 o'clock hour starts next. Remember the lemonade stand stories that I didn't get to? Well, there was one that we did a couple of weeks ago, and, well, there's a new one that's just stunning. Well, please, leave kids' lemonade stands alone. For crying out freaking loud. Come on! Leave them alone! All right, that and a whole lot more next. Oh, you got to hear this. In minutes, MJ Morning Show. Oh, the... is 7:02 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and Fester Roxanne on the high seas enjoying a Disney cruise. I'm sure she's getting just ass blasted drunk.
You know, that's
do you
what they
think?
do. I mean, the kids just have their party and they just feed the parents booze.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Roxanne's probably pushing a .13 still from last night. Right about now at 7:02 in the morning.
No, I'm sure she's having a great time with the kids.
I'm sure she is as well. All right. Would people just leave these kids in their lemonade stands alone? Do you remember? You were probably here. Do you remember? And this was very near and dear to me because this happened in Chesapeake, Virginia. And, of course, I spent a good portion of my life in Virginia Beach, Virginia, right next door to Chesapeake. And in fact, my first radio station job ever, I was almost 16. I got my first job toward the latter months of when I was 15. And my mom, this was before I could drive on my own because, in Virginia, you got your learner's permit at 15 years, 8 months. I don't know if that's still the same. And you got your full driver's license at 16 if you had all the requirements and requisites. And then I was able to drive myself. So for the first couple of months, my mom had to drive me to my radio station job at WCPK 1600, top of your dial, Chesapeake, Virginia. It was a big band station, like Tommy Dorsey and all that kind of stuff.
You've always liked that kind of music, so.
Yeah, what?
You've always liked that kind of music.
Listen, how can you not like, In the Mood Down? How can you not like that stuff?
Good stuff.
Anyway, so my first gig, right, Chesapeake. And then there was a story about a thief. This is a couple of weeks back. A heartless, sicko thug took money from a kid's lemonade stand jar. A kid had a lemonade stand set up like in his driveway in the neighborhood, and the jar had like $40 in it. And the kid's like 10 years old, and a guy walks up, a tattooed man in his 30s, gets out of his car in Chesapeake, Virginia. This is a couple of weeks back, and rips off the cash and then leaves. I don't know if they ever caught the guy. I haven't seen a follow-up. This is just sick. All right, so that story was a couple of weeks ago, and we did it.
So they've caught that guy.
Oh, did they? Okay, I didn't see a follow-up.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this was a follow-up. Oh, this is from last week. So we did the story originally like 2
or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago, and then last week, here's the update. 19-year-old Esteban Santillan confessed to officers that he stole $40 from a child's lemonade stand in Chesapeake. He confessed to the incident, was positively identified as the male in the video, the surveillance footage. Anyway, good. So that's great to know that they caught this guy. 19 years old. What a piece of crap. All right. So that was a couple of weeks ago. Now we've got another. This is unbelievable. Another lemonade stand theft.
And where's this one?
Well, you're not going to believe this. This is California. This is San Diego area. You're not going to believe this. Didn't take the jar per se. Stole the whole lemonade stand. Took the whole freaking lemonade stand, Fester.
If you're going to steal the whole operation, that's really the way to go. I mean, you just
An 11-year-old in Ramona, California has, learned a very hard lesson about a roadside business. Family said his entire lemonade stand was stolen over the weekend. All caught on camera again. Happened Sunday evening, according to mother Kerry Rader, just 8 days after her son Liam's 11th birthday. Someone pulls up and steals the whole lemonade stand. Security video from a nearby business captured the moment a silver pickup truck drives past the lemonade stand, turns around, pulls alongside little Liam's lemonade stand. About halfway through the video, you can see the guy picks up the sign, reads it. In really big letters, it said lemonade, small $1, large is $3. The kid was operating the lemonade stand to save money to buy a dirt bike.
Look at this guy. Takes the table.
Yes, the whole damn thing. All right, go back to the Channel 7 San Diego. Go back to the very beginning of the story.
It's a lot of buildup.
All right, this is insane.
Here we go.
All right, listen to this. Listen to this. Unmute it.
How do I unmute
just
it?
Unmute it. You got it?
Yep, go.
Yeah, unmute it. No, it's not
It is
unmuted.
unmuted. Now it's muted. Now it's unmuted.
No, it's not. It's not
I'm
working.
telling you.
It's not working. I'm telling you, it's not working.
Well, it's not my fault.
Oh, great. Is this not working today?
Maybe.
All right. Oh, now my internet's not working.
Fantastic.
Oh, great. What's new around here? Something's not working. How's that for a shocker? Yeah, I can't play the audio. Anyway, the guy tosses the sign, just kind of chucks the sign, takes a look around, loads the entire lemonade stand into the back of the truck. What the living hell is going on here?
It's a pretty nice folding table. Then if you look, it's like an Adirondack chair love seat.
Yeah, he's got the Adirondack-style chairs, 2 of them, then the whole plastic table, and the guy just steals the kid's entire... What is that, a Dodge Ram? It's a Dodge Ram pick, and it's a newer model. It's not like some junky Ram.
Poor little kid.
I want to play the audio of this kid, but the damn computer's not working in here. Are we on the air?
I don't know that for sure.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, Andrew, can you see what's going on with this thing? Why is this not working? Why am I not getting any internet audio over here? That sucks. All right, anyway, the guy takes off with everything. Loads his chairs, his table into the back of his pickup truck, and gone. That's unfreaking believable.
You can see that he picks.
Hold on, Andrew. Hold on.
Yeah.
Come here, Andrew. Come here. Andrew. Stop.
Saving for a dirt bike.
All right, hang on a minute. Andrew, what was wrong with Fester's computer? Was it operator error?
The computer is muted.
Yeah, the computer's muted. Muted. That's a hard word for me to say.
Go back to where we need to. Go back to the news anchor.
Okay.
I mean, can you believe what balls does it take to not steal the money out of a jar, steal the whole freaking lemonade stand, his chairs, his table? What kind of a sicko does this to a 10 or 11-year-old kid?
It's not like he stole the container of country time in the glass pitcher.
Go ahead, roll this. This is unbelievable.
Year-old in Ramona has learned a tough lesson about running a roadside business. His family says over the weekend his lemonade stand was stolen, and it was all caught on camera.
It's awful.
But as NBC7's Dave Summers tells us, the experience is not sour.
NBC7's Dave Summers. Hey, Dave.
Ow!
You may not know when to teach your kids the good guys from the bad, but for Carrie Rader, it was 8 days after her son Liam's 11th birthday.
That's wrong. You know, it's not yours. It's
No.
not free.
No.
It belongs to somebody.
Yeah. Look at this.
That's Liam leaning his head against the utility pole, expressing his profound sadness. But Liam wasn't the only one recorded on this Diamond D feed and supply security camera.
Oh, look at
the
that.
moment before this heartbreak was the reason for it.
Yeah, it was captured by the Diamond D feed supply security camera in their parking lot.
Why would this happen? Why would you do that from a kid that's just trying to sell lemonade?
Yeah.
A man in a silver pickup passes through this busy intersection when it caught his eye. With little hesitation, he turned the truck around and pulled alongside Liam's lemonade stand, made sure to lock his vehicle, then approached the table and chairs.
About halfway through the video, you can see that he picks the sign up and he reads it. You know, I helped Liam with the sign, so I know what it said.
On the bottom, in kind of small writing, said, saving for a dirt bike, anything helps. Thank you, with a little smiley face at the end.
The man tossed the sign, took a quick look around, then loaded the lemonade stand in the back of his truck. Liam had paid $100 for the table and chairs from his earnings.
It was nice stuff. I mean, it was a...
Meanwhile, the kid's got a GoFundMe that started. He's got $17 million in the GoFundMe right now.
He's going to turn out just fine.
I'm kidding. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like, so Liam was not right next to the lemonade stand, and there was not a picture. Maybe the guy just thought it was abandoned stuff on the side of the road.
It's right there in the corner. It's in the junk dump zone.
But it did, however, read lemonade stand.
The sign was laying
on
down.
the sign.
It was laying down. There was no active lemonade stand in operation at this time. He thought it was just discarded junk. Possibly. Or he's a terrible thief.
Possibly. Anyway, $100. Kid invested $100 in a table and chairs. Anyway, I'm sure a GoFundMe was started. Or maybe the guy saw himself on the news and said, man, I just thought the stuff was abandoned. And maybe the guy's going to bring the crap back. But that's a new one. Stealing not just the lemonade money. I mean, you've had 6 stories like that. We've had stories locally where, like, some thief will rip off the Girl Scouts. You know, you've got, like, the Girl Scouts selling cookies outside of Walgreens or Walmart or Publix. And we've had stories locally as well as nationwide where some cretin will steal the Girl Scouts cookie money.
Yeah, don't rob from the Girl Scouts.
Some sicko crackhead, for instance.
Some crackhead having to get their Samoa fix.
Unbelievable. Hey, did you see the Panera bread thing?
What happened to Panera?
Yeah, I meant to do this yesterday, but I didn't get around to it. A Panera bread employee, this is out in Colorado, used a pan to smash a violent customer over the head. You know those metal baking pans? Like the sheet pans?
Where they bake bread and stuff on it?
Oh, man, this is incredible. Natalie Wiersma recorded video of this altercation. A customer was throwing objects at the staff and yelling, "Give me my bleeping phone!" Everyone was confused. They said, "Ma'am, we don't have your phone." This is like a delusional customer at Panera who thought that the staff, I guess, stole her phone. And they're screaming at the staff, "Give me my phone!" The customer became more irate, then started shoving the items off the counter at Panera. Another customer intervened. They got into a brawl. Then you got another customer and the wacko. They're like going at it in the middle of Panera. And that's when an employee came out with one of those metal baking pans.
A sheet pan.
And starts repeatedly hitting the violent customer over the head with the pan. You got to hear this audio. Listen to what's going on here. Hey! It's like, "Give me my phone." And they're saying, "No one's got your phone." Oh, man.
Get out of here. Hey! Stop it! Stop it!
Nothing like a brawl.
Call the police on this guy.
Just whacking him over the head with the pan.
Stop it! Stop it!
It is called Panera, after all, right?
I mean, yes, that is a very appropriate name for the place.
So this guy is yelling at Panera staff saying, "Give me my phone." Clearly not playing with a full deck. There's something mentally going on here. Another customer intervenes, and that's when they start getting into a tussle. And that's when a female Panera employee comes out with a metal pan and starts bashing.
Stop it! Stop it!
That's great.
Absolutely.
All right.
Man, I haven't been to Panera in a while.
Yeah, same here.
This kind of action's going down. I may want to rethink that.
All right, 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Oh, we had a beans debate in my house. We had a debate about beans. You know the beans little song?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows.
We had a little argument in my house over the beans song.
What, the version to use?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought up the version. Apparently, Chloe and Michelle don't know there's a second version, and they don't believe me.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's two versions.
There are two versions of the bean song. All right, you got to hear this. Do you remember the pizza shop in Fort Lauderdale where the owner responds with hilarious responses when someone leaves a bad review?
Yeah, you went there and discovered this place.
Yeah, I did.
And then after you went there, you found out about the guy and his reviews.
I checked the reviews again because I was back there a couple of weekends ago, and I've got a couple of new reviews that I've got to read. So we'll get to that coming up in just... Oh, I got to do a quiz. I want to take some phone calls, and I might just take one caller. When we get back, I gotta quiz the audience. So stand by. We are loaded. Also, I got to tell you what Gen Z and millennials are doing to celebrate something. That's coming up in just a bit. Anyway, we're packed with an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. And the Cash Kitty hits at 8 o'clock this morning. We had a $1,000 winner yesterday at 8 o'clock. You could be the next winner here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. It is 7:25 exactly at the MJ Morning Show. Let's go. We're launching an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ right now. No interruption. No one does this. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop content every morning around 7:25. All right, here we go. Cash Kitty's on the way in about 35 minutes. At 8 o'clock, I'll give you the new Cash Kitty keyword. You text it in. You could win $1,000 with our nationwide contest. We had a local winner yesterday morning. The first contest. We just launched Cash Kitty yesterday again here on 104.7 FM. And right out of the chute, we had a local winner, Lisa Kirby of Davenport, won $1,000 by just texting in. Could be you next in 34 minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. All right, quick quiz. We have a lot to do here. Well, the P. Diddy update, huge breaking news late last night. P. Diddy has been arrested. Sean Diddy Combs, whatever, he's been arrested. And we're expecting a presser later today. We're expecting the unsealed indictment. He's in a crap load of trouble.
Come on, P.
Yeah, P. Diddy, Sean Diddy, whatever the freaking...
So did they take him to Rikers Island last night?
No, they're not going to. That's going to be local.
Okay, I don't know.
Rikers is going to be for like local New York City stuff. They probably took him to the federal detention center, probably where what's his face, where Jeffrey Epstein was. They probably took him down there.
Oh, that's a real secure place.
That's what I'm guessing. All right, so full update on Diddy in minutes. Stand by. First, though, I want to do a quick quiz, just a quick quiz, and this could be all over. If the first caller knows, it'll be all over. I don't want to tell you what it is. If you would like to take a quick quiz, it's one question. Well, there are three quick little answers. I mean, but it's just one question. I would like you to participate right now. Just call us blindly. This is what I need. I need to randomize this. This needs to be just random. Just phone up right now and take a quick quiz.
No hints as to what it's about?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to do that because this needs to be like double blind. All right, let's go. 800-990-1047. If you're an MJ Morning Show listener and you'd like to participate, just call us up. I just want to ask you a question to see if you know the answer. Let's go. I don't want to tell you what it is. You know, clearly, when I take the first call, everyone's going to know what it is. And if the first caller doesn't know, then I'll go to the second caller. All right, just take a quick random quiz. All the lines are ringing. 800-990-1047. 1047. Andrew, you don't even have to screen it. I'll just pick the damn thing up. All right, Andrew, let me grab Jimmy. All right, Jimmy is on. Put Jimmy on hold. Jimmy, the first line I'm going to grab is line 1. Hey, Jimmy, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey, Jimmy, where are you calling from?
I'm actually on 39, headed south out of Zephyr Hills to Plant City.
Oh, fantastic. Have a safe drive. All right, this is the question, just a quick quiz. Do you know the 3 branches of government?
It's a yes or no, right?
Well, no.
You
got to name them. Can you name the 3 branches of government?
Maybe 40 years ago when I graduated high school, but
the reason why I'm bringing this up is a third of American adults, so 33% can't name the 3 branches of the federal government. So, Jimmy, off the bat, you don't know.
Yeah, I could take a stab at it.
Yeah, take a stab. Take an OJ at it.
No, that's cruel.
It's a joke. Easy, Jimmy.
Don't Google it while driving on 39.
Yeah, no way, man. No way. I got to keep it safe.
I give us your guess.
Yeah, you got the judicial.
Yep.
You got executive.
Yep.
And I think the other one's congressional, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, it's not called congressional, but Congress is in that branch. All right, Jimmy, thank you, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
All right, thank you for listening. Love you, too. All right, let me grab, I don't even know who this is on 2. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Cody.
Cody. How old are you, Cody?
I am 11 years old, sir.
All right, well, listen, this was for adults, but I'll take it from Cody. Cody, name the 3 branches of government.
There's Navy, the Marine Corps. Executive.
Those are branches of the military, which sounds like you know those. All right, what are the branches of government?
Executive, judicial, cabinet. No.
I think you're getting help from Dad.
Yeah, you tell Dad to pipe down back there.
Put Dad on the phone, Cody.
Cabinet.
No,
give it to Dad.
Dad, what are the 3? Because it's really for adults. That 33% of adults don't know the branches of government. What are they?
The executive branch, the judicial branch, and all right, I'm stuck on the third one for a minute here.
All right. Well,
that's the one that seems to get the people.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Executive, judicial.
All right. All right. Thank you, Dad. All right. So, look, this survey, I think, is right. 33%. Right now, it's 100% here on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Gavin.
Who is it?
Gavin.
Hey, Gavin. How old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
Awesome. Are you with Mom or Dad right now?
I'm currently in my room with Grandma.
Oh, with Grandma. All right. All right. Now this is for adults, though. So have Grandma tell me the 3 branches of government, because it's for adults.
All right, Grandma, can you tell us what the 3 branches of government is?
Put her on the hold on. Put her on the phone. Go ahead, Granny.
Legislative.
Hold on. Say it. Hold on. Start again. What is it?
Gavin, you tell him. Judicial,
executive, and legislative.
Well, I'll give it to you. Legislative. So there it is. All right. Well, but did you know that, Gavin, or did Grandma know it?
No, I know that.
Oh, you knew it.
Civics. I took civics last year.
Well, good. That's fantastic. Well, thank you. But where do you go to school?
John Hopkins Middle School.
And where is that? What city?
St. Pete.
It's in St. Pete.
It's in St. Pete.
Oh, it is. All right. Well, listen, thank you for listening, my friend. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You have a great day at school today.
You too.
All right.
Gavin, go, Gavin, go.
All right,
Grandma. All right. Every line is still ringing in here. You know, the first couple of calls kind of prove this.
1/3 has no idea.
A third of American adults can't name the 3 branches of the federal government, and it took the third call for us to get the answer.
Took some kid who took a civics class and some grandma back from WWII.
Yeah.
Today, it's the day that we're living in the legislative branch and I will be...
Little quiz. Hey, do you think this is funny? I read a story last night that this mother thinks it's hysterical that her 2-year-old toddler is running around saying F you. Is that
You know what?
I'm sorry, I don't think that's funny. How is that funny?
I mean, there are things that my kids will say that I will laugh at in the moment, but I wouldn't want them to repeat it or say it in front of anybody else.
You know that Kids Spot website? It's like all kinds of kid and mother and parent related stuff. I had some link I stumbled upon, and this mother it wrote a little story about, hey, my 2-year-old says F you. I think it's hilarious. So where did the 2-year-old? It had to come from overhearing the parents
over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
Will she think it's funny when the 2-year-old says it to the doctor or uses it in preschool or, in that capacity?
She writes, the other night I was in bed reading to my 2 youngest girls, and my 2-year-old toddler mumbled something. I didn't quite catch it. And the older daughter, the 5-year-old, ratted out on the 2-year-old and said, Mom, Lily just said F you. And then the 5-year-old said it. And the mother thinks it's hysterical. Yeah, all fun and games until your kid goes to kindergarten, right? And tells the kindergarten teacher, F you. Oh, my God. You got to break that habit. I mean, stop laughing about it. You got to tell the kid it's unacceptable. No, you can't say that. Or you really teach them a lesson and do the old, soap in the mouth,
Nobody does soap in the mouth anymore.
No?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
MJ, my kids have said stuff that are completely inappropriate, not a line, and in the moment it's funny, but it's private family stuff. We can have a chuckle over it. When we say, hey, that's not really the best language to use. We really shouldn't use that words. Little kids shouldn't use those words, and most adults shouldn't either, but we do.
It's a little rough. All right, I got to get into the whole beans debate here. Michelle's texting me all morning, so she's awake. Let me get my wife on the phone, and then Chloe as well. I might get them both on the phone. Hold on. All right, so this is insane, and they're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Fester, I think you know exactly where this is going.
I mean, a beans debate, and then you said a song, or we kind of guessed it.
All right, Michelle.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this whole beans debate and how it came up. Let me get Chloe on the phone as well. Hang on, dialing Chloe.
Oh, she's busy.
Well, hang on a minute. I got a show to do. I'm busy also.
Yeah, we're busy.
I need the pertinent parties involved that are germane to this situation.
We'll see what she says.
Yeah, all right. The whole beans debate.
I learned it from the kids. Oh.
Hello, Chloe. It's Dad live with Mom on the other line.
Okay, hi.
All right, so you
Good
guys.
morning, Chloe.
Morning.
Meanwhile, they're 25 feet apart in the house.
You don't sound nearly as busy as your mother built you up to be.
All right. So I'm calling you guys regarding this whole beans debate that we had on Sunday. Michelle and I flew back from Virginia Beach.
We had it on Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Okay. Because we have to get your bean
No,
debate.
but wait, but then we had the conversation with Chloe as well.
I didn't have a conversation with her.
I had the conversation with Chloe.
Right.
All right.
Not me.
All right. So I had the conversation.
So now you've already tainted her with your version.
All right. No. Because
Yes.
this is unbelievable.
I see what's happened now.
No, listen to what happened. So Michelle and I were in Virginia Beach. It first started on Saturday. It carried over to Sunday night when we flew home. Michelle and I, we love good barbecue, and there are two great barbecue places in Virginia Beach. One is called Dave's Barbecue on Virginia Beach Boulevard, and then down on Princess Anne Road in Pungo, there's Pungo Boys Barbecue, if you ever get there. Good stuff. And listen, they have baked beans, they have all the sides, the collard greens, the banana pudding, they got the usual stuff, right? But good, really good. So we ordered the beans at both places. 2 different days we had barbecue. And then Michelle is reciting the beans rhyme, the beans song.
The song.
Right. All right. Michelle, go ahead and recite the beans song that you think is correct.
Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
All right. Look, this is my adult wife who just had a birthday yesterday. All right. So
sing the rest.
No. Just that's fine. That's all I need. So beans.
That's all I know. That's all the kids ever sang to me.
Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. So we're at lunch having this barbecue with the baked beans, and I said, all right, that's one. What's the other one, Michelle?
No, you said something different first, and I was like, what the heck is that? That's something I never heard.
Yeah, so I rip into, get it?
Yeah.
I rip into beans, Fessa, say it with me.
The fruit.
What?
What? Go.
Maybe you have a third one.
No, I'll give in the lyric.
Right. Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. And
I've never heard
Michelle
that.
said she never heard of that. I've heard of both, and I used both growing. Yes.
No, I think you just made that up.
I did not make it up.
You did.
All right, Andrew, hold on.
What the heck does farting have to do for good for your heart?
Yeah.
That's the most ridiculous connection.
Because fart rhymes with heart.
I've always heard beans, the fruit of your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart.
All right, well, that's just a variation. That's essentially the same one that I have.
I'm a bigger fan of the heart fart version.
And then Andrew, our producer, Andrew, you've heard of the beans, good for your heart, right?
Correct.
All right, so Andrew also heard of that one. And then Chloe and Michelle, they're like looking at me like I got a third Cyclops eyeball in my face. Looking at me like I got a forehead, ocular unit. And, they never heard of it. How do you...
Never heard of it.
Come on, Chloe, how do you have never heard of that version?
Under a rock somewhere.
Are you guys 4 years old? I'm trying to get ready for my full-time job, and you guys are talking about farting.
Yeah, this is our full-time job. And, Chloe, your version is beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal.
That's
the whole song.
That's the rest of that one. Yes.
That's both sides of both lyrics.
Can you believe the debates that go on in my freaking household?
Look, I never heard that until Chloe and Julian came home singing it like from school.
Oh, I've been singing fart songs for decades.
No.
They're great.
All right, Chloe,
not in my household.
Chloe, go ahead. Get ready for your adult job at the state attorney's office, okay?
Yeah, you guys keep having this conversation. I'm going.
Why don't you say hi to Susie Lopez for me this morning and maybe recite the tune, okay?
Yeah, okay.
You know what?
Love it.
Hey, how about you stop by Jimbo's on the way to the office and bring Susie a bucket of beans and sing the song for the boss.
Bring beans for the office today. All right, Michelle and Chloe.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Can you believe the crap that goes on in my house?
I can't believe I haven't heard both versions.
This was Saturday. It started Saturday at one of the barbecue places where we're having beans. And Michelle's like, I never heard of that. You're making that up. I'm like, I'm not making it up. The beans good for your heart version, that's a totally accepted version, as well as beans, the magical fruit. How does she go through her entire life and never heard version 2? I don't get that. I don't understand it. So the stuff going on in my house, folks, unfreaking believable. All right, let's deal with P. Diddy here. Also, there's a hell of a Mariah Carey story out this morning.
Related to P. Diddy?
No. Totally separate. But the P. Diddy situation, folks, this is getting real. P. Diddy got real serious last night. I saw the story broke about, 10 p.m.?
Yeah.
I think it was about 10 p.m. that I first saw the breaking news on P. Diddy that Sean Diddy Combs was arrested by Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, federal police. And Diddy, I believe I don't think he bonded. I think he's still in custody. I got to believe he's still in custody, I think. P. Diddy, when he was hauled in by Homeland Security last night, he said,
I'm shocked at this information.
All right, now, here's what's going on. I got a little bit of a recap here. Sean Diddy Combs was arrested at a New York City hotel last night. This is all amid this federal sex trafficking investigation. Diddy is 54 years old, and the reports are that he voluntarily flew to New York City in the anticipation that he was going to be arrested on federal charges from a grand jury indictment. This is according to various sources and prosecutors telling the New York Post last night. Combs photographed walking through Manhattan yesterday with his son Christian. Taken into custody last night at the Park Hyatt, New York, by Homeland Security. And they, HSI, Homeland Security, federal agents, they usually are the federal agency that handles the sex trafficking probes. We're expecting a presser later today. Hopefully, the unsealed indictment will be available before we go off the air this morning at about 9:45, 9:48, somewhere in that vicinity. Andrew is on hot standby. Andrew has all the alerts going. So the minute that this thing comes down, if it happens during the show, we'll read you the indictment. I mean, this is some serious stuff. And for those that heard me last week, I played this at the very opening of the show at 6 o'clock this morning. But last week, Fester was out. He was selling RVs on the Hershey Highway up in Pennsylvania. And I was with Roxanne last week. And this is what I said last Tuesday. Andrew, right? Last Tuesday?
Yes.
This is exactly 1 week ago on the MJ Morning Show. Here's a clip of me. Listen, I got to believe that something's coming down.
Right.
You know, the clock is tick, 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 ticking. It's just a matter of time before the shoe drops on Sean Diddy Combs.
Yeah.
Clearly, the feds have something big. The simultaneous raids in Miami and Beverly Hills and all the allegations. You know, I think that, hey, where there's smoke, there's some serious fire. And I think I'm just waiting for the day. It's got to be at some point in the next couple of months that there's the big announcement of some kind of an indictment. But guess what? It wasn't the next couple of months. It was the next couple of days.
Little did you know that you're your guest.
But I brought it up that the shoe's coming, man. The smoke is out there. Here's a fire. What's going on with Diddy? All right, so here's what we know. Some of the details. Well, we know that there was a raid on his Miami house. We know that there was a simultaneous raid. This is what, back in May, I think it was, that they raided his Beverly Hills home as well.
It was in March.
Thank you. It was, that's right, March 25th.
All those M months mixed
Yeah,
together.
March, May,
February.
Yeah, it was
November.
It was March 25th when it happened. It wasn't May. And Homeland Security, the feds raided his homes. Now, this is what we actually know so far. Homes were raided in Los Angeles and Miami by Homeland Security. Possible connection to an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. Authorities targeted Diddy's homes to seize phones and computers, according to sources. At least 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe have been interviewed by New York prosecutors in connection to sex trafficking allegations and a RICO case. That's a racketeering case. And that's according to Rolling Stone magazine. Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, filed a lawsuit against him in November of last year on several allegations, including rape, physical abuse, and that happened over a decade. Combs and Cassie settled the lawsuit 1 day after it filed. So she files the lawsuit in November of 23. They settle the whole thing to make it go away. The next day, trust me, she walked away with millions to bury this thing.
In 1 day.
Yeah. In November 2023, he was accused of drugging, filming, and sexually assaulting a woman on a date in 1991.
Okay.
A third woman filed a lawsuit against Diddy in November of 23 as well, claiming that he and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns sexually assaulting her and a friend in the early 1990s. In December of last year, just back in December, Combs was hit with a 4th sexual assault lawsuit and accused him and others of sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl at his New York City recording studio. After drugging her and supplying her with alcohol. Then here we are, September 2024, and Diddy was sued by Dawn Richard, a participant on Combs' 2004 MTV show Making the Band, claiming that he once broke into her dressing room and began groping her breasts and butt.
Okay.
But I've got the statement. You want to hear the statement from Diddy's lawyer?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let's
hang
see
on
what
a
the lawyer
minute.
has to say.
Yeah, so the lawyer last night, when all of this went down, Sean Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, he said, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a huge trial.
Oh, yeah. Or trial. Maybe there's a plea deal. Who knows? But it seems that they're going to stand their ground and claim that he did nothing wrong. But this is a big, big deal. This is huge. We'll know more once the indictment is unsealed. It should be later this morning. Hopefully it's while we're still on the air. But that's what's going on in the Diddy matter. Oh, and this is kind of interesting. I wonder, when Sean Diddy Combs appears before a federal magistrate or whatever to hear the charges and enter a plea, I'm wondering if it's going to sound like the judge in a wacky case. This is in Michigan. This is like a month or two old, right? So there's some nutty guy who filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in August, right? The guy's name is Derek Lee Cardello Smith, who says that this is a guy who's
how's he know Diddy?
He's currently locked up in a Michigan jail, right? This Derek Lee Cardello Smith says that Sean Diddy Combs drugged and had his way with him at a party in Detroit in 1997. Cardello claims the rapper is selling his Los Angeles home to keep his assets away from a potential settlement with him in the future. So listen to the hearing. This is this dude who's currently locked up in Michigan, who filed a suit against Diddy a month ago in August. And I want you to listen to the judge. Oh, man. This is Judge Anzalone in Michigan reading the lawsuit from this Derek Lee Cardello Smith. Listen to this. All of P. Diddy's names.
This is in the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records, label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also known as Sean Puffy Combs.
Is the federal judge later today, is that judge going to go through the whole list of all of Diddy's aliases?
Now, is that the judge or is that a clerk?
No, that's the judge.
Wow.
No, that's the judge on the bench, because the video, Law and Crime, the website, had the video of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Hang on.
And this is file number 24-7362.
There's more.
NO.
Listen.
We'll grab your paperwork here real quick out of this other paperwork. We do have Mr. Cardello Smith appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Sir, where are you currently located?
I'm located at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility, 2500 South Sheridan Drive, Muskegon, Michigan, 49444, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Or your honor.
Thank you. So I do see that we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs, but for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections.
Listen, the bottom line is Diddy's got a lot of crap going on right now.
This might be the least of his problems. Some guy in penitentiary in Michigan.
99 problems, and
this guy's not really one of them. In complete hindsight, with all these allegations, was P really the best letter to wrap your whole image around?
Probably not.
I mean,
probably not.
P.
Probably right. Big news on Sean Diddy Combs, and we'll have more information. Hopefully, the unsealed indictment in New York, this whole federal case. I think he's in trouble. I wonder if he's going to be going down the road just like R. Kelly. I mean, R. Kelly's incarcerated for what? For decades, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll look it up.
All right, the Mariah Carey story. I'll get to that in a second. You got to hear this. I don't know how you do this. There is a Mariah Carey money story that is shocking. In fact, when I told P. Diddy about the Mariah Carey story I was going to do, P. Diddy said,
I'm shocked at this information.
All right, that's coming up in just a minute. First, though.
He was even surprised.
First, though, Generation Z and millennial women are doing this. They are throwing themselves success showers. You know, like a baby shower or a wedding shower?
Okay, yeah.
So Generation Z and millennial women are celebrating their success by throwing showers, like parties, celebrating their success.
Like I got this job I've wanted, or I bought a house, or something besides having a kid or getting married.
What's going on with these Gen Zers? I mean, remember a couple of weeks ago we did the story how a lot of Gen Z and millennials are tying up the security lines at airports, and they're organizing all their stuff in the plastic tray at the TSA security checkpoint, and they're taking like these pictures and posting like their arrangement of their shoes, their keys, their phone, their crap in the security bin at the airport. They're taking pictures and post. What is going on with millennials and Generation Z?
I actually gave that a follow. It was actually really interesting. She travels a lot. It was really interesting.
Was it one woman we talked about that's like starting this trend? So, no, seriously, there was a story. We did this a couple of weeks ago that you might get delayed at the security checkpoint because millennial and Generation Z women are taking pictures of their personal belongings bin, the gray plastic tray at the airport, or the white plastic tray, whatever color your airport has.
So now they're throwing showers for life successes?
Yeah, now it's life success showers, like getting a job, having success at that job. When you think of a baby shower, celebration of an expectant mother, or a bridal shower, getting ready to get married. Now there's a new shower, and it's just success showers.
Do I have to bring you a gift if I go to your success shower?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I know you got that new job with a big raise, and here's a blender.
Listen, I've heard it all now. I've heard it all.
Sounds like another reason to party.
Moving on to Mariah Carey. She's in trouble, apparently, financially. Mariah Carey's lavish lifestyle, according to Page 6, has caused serious financial strain. Is Mariah Carey having money troubles? Well, here's what they say. She's got a blistering $18.6 million in mortgage debt. But her spend, what really, got me going, what had me doing the cartoon head shake was allegedly what she is spending every single month. Listen to this. She's got mortgages totaling $18.6 million.
Okay.
All right. She also reportedly is blowing $1 million a month on designer clothes, gifts, and other extravagant expenses. That's unbelievable. I saw it on Page 6. They were reporting, I guess, initial reporting from the Daily Mail that said that insiders that know Mariah Carey said that when she split from her billionaire husband, James Packer, this is a while ago, this is 2016 already, it wasn't just because of personal differences. Apparently, this guy's a billionaire, and allegedly Mariah Carey and her husband, the billionaire, they were arguing over money, that Mariah Carey has an obsession with money, 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 is what an insider said. $45,000 spot treatments for her dogs.
I mean, the dog.
What the bleep?
I mean,
$45,000 spot treatments for your freaking dogs?
Okay, that included the ears and the glands. So
$100,000 a month spent on exotic flowers. $10,000 per session for hair and makeup. What hairstylist and makeup artist is charging? Man, they see her coming. $10 grand to have your makeup and hair done?
None of this surprises
What they
me.
dig up Vidal Sassoon and animate his body?
Yes. Yes.
Is Vidal Sassoon dead?
He sounds like he's dead.
I think he might be.
I haven't seen him say anything in a while.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the money that she's going through. I mean, for her to tick off a billionaire husband?
Yeah, you're a billionaire. You're married to.
No, I'm not a billionaire.
No,
You just said you're a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire.
Put yourself in the position.
Okay.
If you're a billionaire.
I'm in the position.
Oh, God. Never
I've
mind.
assumed the position.
All right. Never mind. Whatever I had to say was.
Go ahead.
You're a billionaire. You're married to Mariah Carey. Right?
Yeah.
How much does she have to really spend to really irk you, Mr. Billionaire?
Well, apparently $45,000 for pet spas for the dogs. That's the last straw. That's the straw that broke the Shih Tzu's back.
Poor little Shih Tzu. I'll tell you what, that dog does look clean as hell. I mean, I see a picture of the dog.
Man, she's in some deep financial Shih Tzu, apparently.
She's fine. How much does she make every year off like that Christmas song?
Well, guess what?
Her payday's coming up.
Listen, the story said that the royalties from All I Want for Christmas Is You, that's not enough to cover, I guess, her financial woes. I mean, is Mariah Carey going to be the next celebrity to declare bankruptcy? Hey, remember MC Hammer? Can't touch this.
Yeah, apples and oranges between Mariah Carey and MC Hammer.
Listen, obviously, Mariah Carey had much greater success, but MC Hammer was no slouch back in the day. I mean, but he spent it like it was, an open spigot that wasn't going to run out. He was spending money like it burned like a coal fire, in Pennsylvania,
Mariah Carey needs to come out with a 4th of July song. That way she has 2 paydays.
She needs to come out with a Columbus Day song.
Yeah.
That's coming up in October. That's what she needs. A Thanksgiving song.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, she needs a Thanksgiving, all the fixins and everything.
Yes. Little Easter song.
Yeah.
She can cover all the big holidays.
All I need for Thanksgiving is food. Oh, all I need for Christmas is you. All I need for Thanksgiving is food.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's what she needs.
That'll work.
Yeah, but she apparently is a spender out of control.
Yeah, I never thought of Mariah Carey as like a coupon clipper or anything like that.
Look at the time, 8 o'clock exactly, MJ Morning Show. Let's do it. Let's go. How'd you like to win $1,000 right now? Ladies and gentlemen, the Cash Kitty is back. All right, here's the deal. This hour's word is fortune. This hour's word is fortune, Fortune. This hour's word is fortune. Text the word fortune right now, nationwide, to 45911. Text the word fortune, Fortune, nationwide to 45911. Right now, before quarter after, you got a shot at $1,000 cash, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myQ105.com. The Cash Kitty word right now is fortune. Text it. 45911. Just text the word fortune to 45911. We had the first winner for the National Beasley Media Group contest for our stations. We had the first winner from Q105 yesterday morning. When we did it, yes. The first one, the first contest of the new run, we had the first winner right here on the MJ Morning Show. And it was Lisa Kirby of Davenport won $1,000. So hopefully you'll be the next grand winner. Incidentally, we do it every morning at 8 a.m. like we just did. It'll happen right after the MJ Morning Show at 10. It'll happen at 12 noon. It'll happen at 3 p.m. And it happens at 5 p.m. The Cash Kitty is back. Yep. All right, so good luck from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Did you see the Apple iPhone? What Apple are you on? What phone are you on?
I have an older one. It's
what
starting to give me
version?
some issues. I think I have like a 13, a 12, or a 13.
Let me see it. I mean, I'm not an Apple guy, but my kids are Apple guys. I mean, Michelle and I both have Androids. Let me see what you have. Yeah, that looks like a 13.
Yeah.
That might be a 13. So what kind of issues is it giving you?
it's not charging easily, and I have to use like those.
Yeah, the battery is worn out, right?
Well, the charging port.
Oh, the ports.
I had to buy
Oh, you got to jiggle it to make a connection?
No, I had to buy those chargers where you have to let it rest on there.
Yeah, so you broke your lightning jack or your C. I don't. Was that lightning back then, or is that the?
No,
is that the USB-C? Let me see the. No, you don't.
It's a little white tip
Yeah,
one.
you don't know. That's the lightning connector.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have lightning.
I only charge
So
now.
Apple went to the Type C, the USB-C. Anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is Apple shares slump. Why? Because there's some really serious information coming out that the demand is weak for the new iPhone 16.
I mean, everybody already has one.
Yeah.
Who's there saying, "Oh man, I gotta get my phone finally"?
Yeah, but they were hyping. They were hyping the fact that the iPhone 16 was going to be the biggest leap in technology from previous generation to generation phones. I guess maybe that's not the case.
This phone already does an awful lot. I mean, I really can't imagine it doing too much more that I don't have.
Do you know any vapors?
Yeah, I know 100 of them.
Really? Like, who do you know?
Tommy, Danny, Kurt.
I don't.
Brian.
Stop making up names.
No, these are all guys I know. And listen, I was just at an RV show. Hundreds of people were there, both customers and salespeople, who were just have a vape. They're vaping in the airports and they're vaping everywhere they go. They're
Listen
vaping
to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This young woman in Ohio says, "I loved vaping so much until my lungs collapsed and black goo poured out of me."
There's a time. There's a limit. You really can't do it all.
Baby. I want collapsed lungs and black goo pouring out of me. Give me a vapor.
Little vape cartridges. Now they have all kinds of stuff in vape cartridges.
Yeah, I was reading a story that this young woman, so addicted to vaping, she even slept with an e-cigarette. What?
Dude.
And she nearly died. Her lungs collapsed, and then she says that black goo poured out of her body. And now she's like on a mission to warn people. Do you know that there are tens of millions of vapors here in the United States?
Yes.
There are hundreds of millions of vapors worldwide.
You say sleeping with your vape pen like it's a big deal. I bet you, MJ, you could have dozens of people call in who sleep with their phone and their vape pen right next to them.
Jordan Brielle is 32 years old and says she almost died. And she's trying to get the word out to the world. Stop vaping. She says, "I feel grateful to be alive." Yeah, she lives in Cincinnati, and she noticed last November her health took a really serious nosedive, and she had a heaviness in her chest. She used to be a cigarette smoker, but she switched to vaping back in 2021, and she was a cigarette smoker since she was a teen. She then said she became addicted to vaping and the devices. She would spend $500 a week on vaping. How the hell do you spend $500 a week on vaping?
I mean, the cartridges only have so many puffs. If you're nonstop jamming it in your face, you go through them.
Yeah, she said she had a horrible cough, was going to the hospital 2 or 3 times a week for help. She said she had little or no voice.
All right.
Each time they would send me home, I felt like there were 80 pounds of pressure lying on my chest. I'd never felt so sick.
I hate people like this.
Then her body swelled. Her ankles swelled from her feet to her kneecaps, up her leg. Her skin turned gray.
Yeah.
Her mind couldn't focus.
This is not a normal existence, MJ. This is my problem with Brielle over here. It's like she's a raging addict, and she's telling everybody not to do it. You know what? Don't do it. No, don't do it as much as you did. It's like this guy was this crazy alcoholic guy. I'm telling people not to drink now.
Fester. Leave Brielle alone!
As black goop is coming up.
Brielle alone!
I mean, Brielle, you're spending $500 a week. Leave
Brielle alone!
Black tar is coming out of your face. Like, I should really tell people not to do it. No, don't do it every flipping second of the day.
All right, so warning, if you're a vapor.
No, don't be Brielle. That's the warning.
Yep. she went to the hospital back in May again. Things got really, really bad.
Oh, no, her whole left leg fell off. She's a nutcase.
Yeah.
This person has psychological issues.
Brielle was rushed to the hospital. Her partner found her unresponsive in bed with black mucus dripping out of her nose and mouth.
Yeah, he had to ask the vape pen what happened. And the vape pen's like, I don't know, dude. Don't look at me. This woman has psychological issues. She's the last person to tell anybody, you guys really should put the vape pens down.
I've got pictures of her with tubes up every orifice in her body in the hospital. Anyway, hey, heads up warning. All you vapors out there, just a little bit of a heads up for you. All right, I have these latest round of pizza reviews. What are you chortling at?
Still mad at this Brielle.
Why are you chortling? Leave Brielle alone.
Brielle, leave the vape pen alone.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Listen, you want to have a vape? Have a vape. Big deal. Don't have $500 a week worth of vapes.
A couple of months back, I told you about this pizza shop in Fort Lauderdale.
What was the name of it?
Heritage Pizza.
Yeah.
It's good. You know me and pizza. In fact, I think Sardo's is supposed to come in. Hey, Sardo, where the hell are you? I thought you were coming in this week.
Is it today or?
No, it's sometime. It's only Tuesday, so I guess
Okay.
he's got some time to come in. Listen, I'm a pizza snob. I fully admit it. Incidentally, man, I sent Kirby and the cake girl. Kirby is the cake girl's husband. I sent them on a little pizza tour over the last couple of days. I sent them to a couple of great places. They wanted something in Midtown. Midtown Manhattan is kind of a dead spot.
It's a tourist trap.
Yeah, it really is. So there's not much, but there are a couple of places that are really good, but you got to go a little further to the west. So I sent them the two places in Midtown. I said Vito's Slices and Ices. Vito's Slices and Ices is really a good New York slice. And then you have a Joe's Pizza branch on Broadway around 40th Street. But the really good stuff pizza-wise in Manhattan, you got Patsy's, the original coal-fired oven up at 117 and First, which is fantastic. Then you have down in the Village, you got La Industry, you've got Mama's too.
Well, you like pizza.
Lower East Side, you got
you're a big fan of the stuff.
You've got Scars.
Yeah, a little sauce and cheese on a piece of bread. You're a big fan.
So listen, the cake girl and her husband took the Staten Island ferry just from Lower Manhattan across Staten Island. They wanted to go past the Statue of Liberty, and they text me as they're getting ready to come back, hey, any good pizza shops near the Staten Island ferry in Lower Manhattan?
No, the whole city's out, cake girl.
So I sent them to Keste, which is like true Napoli Neapolitan. And they were blown away. They're like, oh, my God, this is fantastic. Keste, Keste, phenomenal stuff. It's that wet center, real Napoli Neapolitan. Anyway.
All right.
So I love pizza.
Oh, I haven't heard. Really? Tell us more.
Locally, it's tough.
Oh, yeah?
I've got
What do you say?
I've got my handful of, local.
Uh-huh.
I like the Pizza Box on the Central. I like the Violet Stone.
I heard a rumor.
Nona Slice House is tremendous.
Never heard that before.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I heard a rumor, and confirm this if it's true.
Yep.
You like pizza?
I like pizza.
I haven't heard.
I'm a pizza guy. All right. So here's the deal. And there was one local place that I hadn't been to. I don't want to. See, my gig is not blowing places up and like destroying places. I'll tell you when stuff is really good. You don't hear me really crapping on places. So I'm not going to mention any names, but for a while, folks were saying, oh, you got to try this pizza. You got to try this pizza. And I did. And, it's a nice place. They have a really nice, a high quality oven, but the pizza, this is locally. The pizza was horrific. It was awful.
Would you get the dead goat pizza?
No, it was like the dough was like food service pre-made prefab dough. It was like they went to Restaurant Depot and bought like a bag of 30 discs of dough stacked up from the frozen section. I couldn't believe how bad the pizza was, and the people would say, "Oh yeah, it's really good pizza." It was awful. I mean, this place. I really want to call up the owners and say, you have that kind of a pizza oven, you have a nice establishment, and your pizza is that lousy?
Let's go there after the show and just give the owners a piece of their mind.
Listen, I'm not going to mention the place, but I just couldn't. But Michelle and I were horrified. All right, so back over to this Heritage Pizza shop.
Oh, we're still talking pizza. Okay.
Well, no, these are the funny stories now.
I remember now.
Yeah. So I love these reviews. So my parents and brother, they're in Fort Lauderdale. We go to, there's a pizza shop I wanted to try called Heritage Pizza in Fort Lauderdale. And they've got mostly really good reviews. What do they have? A 4.6 on Google reviews.
That's
Heritage
pretty high.
Pizza, right? It's good number. Pizza's great. So it's good plate, good salads, good pasta. It's just a nice place, right? When somebody leaves a negative review, the owner goes bat crap crazy on their ass. And it's sort of, I think it's a shtick and a gimmick, but just shreds them when they leave like a 1-star or a bad review.
Good for him.
And I've got a couple of new ones to read. I love these things. Listen to this. Review from Claudia 4 months ago to the owner. Here's a novel concept. Instead of wasting your time telling me how to handle situations, you send out fresh food on all your orders. I would show you a picture of the salad you sent me, but I would have to dig it out of the garbage. $70 is a lot of pay for a salad and meatballs, but I did willingly. What I did not expect was your audacious response. Heritage very quickly became one of my favorite restaurants after my first visit. However, it's not always possible to dine in because reservations are very limited. I discovered that they delivered through Uber Eats. They also send you old food on the deliveries. I was very sad and disappointed last night when I ordered a very simple dinner for one. A salad and meatball appetizer with tax, tip, and delivery. It would totaled $70. The salad was not butter lettuce and microgreens. It was old rusty romaine. So disgusting to be sent old lettuce on a simple salad. The meatballs were dried out and tough. I won't write them off, but it will be a long time before I visit again. I definitely will never order from out of the establishment that is so dishonest to send old food where you can't complain and you can't send anything back to the kitchen. All right. The owner responds to this review. We are a scratch kitchen. That means everything is made from scratch and fresh daily. We're open 5 days a week. We get produce deliveries almost daily. So that's right there is nearly impossible per your complaining. Meatballs sit in a sauce and beef stock during service to ensure they're never dry. Seems like you were really complaining about the price and really reaching just to blab. What you could have done is give us a call with a pleasant and nice misdemeanor is what he wrote. Letting us know, I think he meant demeanor, not misdemeanor.
No, he means misdemeanor.
Letting us know that you had an issue in which we would have explained and fixed. Instead, you chose to run a keyboard. So with that said, although you have mentioned you won't write us off, I don't mind if you do.
Yeah, please never come back.
I'm not a fan of passive-aggressive keyboard warriors. Be well. All right. Then this is the final one. Actually, there's two more. First time here, a local had reservations at 8, arrived at 7:59, packed with people, blocking the entrance. Must have been 25 people waiting for a table. Very chaotic. No host present. Finally flagged someone down to ask where we check in. He pulled out his phone and asked me for my name, told me to stand near the bathrooms and wait. After getting pushed by people trying to make their way to the bathroom, and 20 minutes later, the host came back to us and asked us for our name again, said he didn't have a table for two at the pizza bar. He said if we didn't want that, or he said he didn't have a table, but he had two at the pizza bar. If we didn't want that, we could continue to wait, blah, blah, blah. After a really unwelcoming beginning, we moved on to drinks and dinner. Drinks are great, top-notch, curated cocktails. Our Italian chopped salad was outstanding anyway. Next was bucatini, clams, clam sauce. It was amazing. The best, the pasta was delish, full of clams. That was the highlight of our experience. Lastly, we had the short rib pizza. What a big disappointment. The Sicilian oven pizza is so much better. Our pizza was supposed to have short rib, several varieties of mushrooms, and prosciutto di Parma, none of which was on the pizza. This guy goes on, blah, 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 blah. So the owner writes to this guy, you are just exhausting in your review.
He's not wrong.
As you were in person, an absolute annoying complainer who did nothing but piss and moan from the moment you walked in. You were 2 seconds away from being thrown out from your rude and condescending behavior. But your husband saved you by being polite, although he seemed embarrassed about your antics and whiny ways as well. Luckily, I'm very good friends with the owner, Sicilian Oven. I'll be sure to warn him about you also. Do the industry a favor and stay home. Better yet, you mentioned you were a local. Do us all a favor and move out of state.
Thank you.
Glad you liked most of the food and drinks, but this place ain't for you. Be sure to redeem your Olive Garden gift card. You don't need a reservation, and they will seat you right away. Seems like you'll fit right in there. Please be sure to change the rating to 1 star.
Listen, MJ, these restaurants, the people will think they're keyboard warriors and they take swipes at these small businesses. I'm glad this guy's at least addressing and confronting them.
Here's one more. The name is Frank Abagnale.
All right, fake.
Yeah, all right, who's Frank Abagnale?
That was the name of the guy on that Catch Me If You Can movie.
Exactly. Leonardo DiCaprio played Frank Abagnale.
Was that his real name, or was that his?
No, Frank Abagnale's the real name.
Right.
That's the imposter guy that did all these imposter jobs, right? And he even he became an airline pilot with no training. I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, so Frank Abagnale wrote, came here expecting good pizza based on reviews. What I didn't expect was the owner dropping the whole thing on the floor, trying to clean the dirt off with a hand vacuum right in front of us and trying to serve it. Owner stank of alcohol and shame and clearly had urinated in his pants within the last few minutes. When I made it clear I was leaving, he got on the floor and grabbed my pant leg and started sobbing. Weird way to run a business. Clearly that's totally made up just to elicit a response. So the owner writes, WTF, ha, 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 ha. You weren't at this restaurant, dude. Nice Catch Me If You Can reference. Frankly, boy, but whatever you were, you and the guy you were talking about seem like you'd be best buds. If peeing your pants is cool, consider me, Miles Davis. Anyway, Billy Madison quote. So anyway, I love these reviews. And listen, I can highly recommend, if you're down in Fort Lauderdale, Heritage Pizza. But I love this guy's reviews to the 1 and 2 star and low reviews.
I'm almost inclined just to engage him just by giving him a low review.
Well, I think that's what people are doing. I think people are just writing phony bad reviews just to get a response out of this guy, which I think is just fantastic. All right, we have a couple of music industry follow-ups. Wow. So we've been talking about the whole Dave Grohl matter. And, of course, Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters rocker.
Right.
And his whole situation where it was announced, was it early last week?
Yeah, sometime last week.
Yeah, early last week, it was announced that Dave Grohl cheated on his wife, Jordan Blum, and had a baby with another woman. And it was just announced. All right, so update. There's a report, Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, that he was jealous because his wife was getting all flirty with a hot tennis coach.
Oh. So he reproduced a child.
So, he was all jealous and upset that his wife had this hot tennis coach and getting too cozy and flirty. So he had sex with another woman and banged out a baby.
Who said this? Did Dave say this, or is this all speculation?
Dave Grohl was reportedly jealous of his wife, Jordan Blum's flirty relationship with her hot tennis coach, according to Page 6, the gossip rag, who announced last week he welcomed a new baby girl out of his marriage. And Dave Grohl has been jealous for ages about Jordan's hot tennis coach, according to a source. They've had arguments about him, and Dave thinks that they flirt too much. Jordan has told him he's crazy to even think that. Dave, I guess, was persisting that something was going on. And tennis coach looks just like Milos from, remember the Seinfeld episode?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of the tennis coach right now.
Oh, good-looking man.
Yeah, the tennis coach's name is Christopher Crabb.
Is this like the best or worst thing to happen to his tennis coaching business?
I don't know. It's a good question. All right, but Dave Grohl's shocked wife did not react well. Yeah, friends close to Dave Grohl's wife, Jordan Blum, reveal that the mother of three, married to Dave Grohl since 2003 or something, did not react well.
Yeah, he's a really good looking man.
That the wife knew about Grohl's new child for a while, according to a very close interior designer that I guess knows them well.
Yeah.
She was shocked when she found out about the baby. Her friends are like family. They rallied around her. Dave's flirty behavior has been a hurdle in their marriage.
Yeah, talk about flirty behavior.
Yeah.
Dave knocking up another person.
She knew about the baby for a while, but they just came out last Monday on September 10th.
Yeah.
Or last Tuesday, rather. Last Tuesday, September 10th, they made it. They released the information that that Dave Grohl had fathered a baby out of wedlock, not with his wife.
They really had no obligation to tell anybody anything at any point.
Yeah, but you know what? They got ahead of it because clearly the story was about to bust wide open. Something was going on. They caught wind that this story was about to bust.
Or maybe they waited till the baby was born before they just announced it on their terms.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the story, they heard that the story was about to come out, and they wanted to get ahead of the story and kind of control the narrative by saying preemptively, hey, I had a baby out of wedlock. I had a baby with another woman. I, stuck you know what, you know where, and boom, I got a little bouncing baby girl. And my three kids now have a half-sister. Surprise. All right. The other music, I got two other, so I got Grohl, Foo Fighters.
Right.
We have an update on the whole Jane's Addiction situation. If you were listening yesterday... Of course, this has been caught stealing Jane's Addiction, one of their more commercially successful songs. I mean, everyone knows this song, right? From 1990 or 1990? When was that? And it been caught stealing. It's a great song. I like Jane's Addiction. Anyway, the rest of the tour's been canceled. If you heard us on yesterday's show, the lead singer, Perry Farrell, he got into a fight with Dave Navarro on stage and punched Navarro. The show got stopped. This was in Boston on Friday night. I mean, something's going on, clearly, with this band. They get into a fight. It gets physical. The roadies have to come out and break them apart. And now the word is that Jane's Addiction has canceled the rest of their reunion tour. It's done.
What a terrible reunion.
After the lead
this hasn't
singer
worked out well at all.
No, and they were probably counting on the cash too.
You know what? One last big payday. I know we hate each other, but let's make a little bit of money and go our separate ways.
Exactly. How bad? How bad were things? You can't just crank out some songs and line your pockets on a farewell tour. Come on.
Play this song you've been playing for 35 years. Just get paid and let's go home.
Yeah. The announcement said that refunds for the canceled dates will be issued at the point of purchase. Canceling the remainder of the tour. Now, the update is also the announcement, and this is the announcement. They put this out on social media. They put this out on their Instagram. Due to a continuing pattern of behavior and the mental health difficulties of our singer Perry, we have come to the conclusion that we have no choice but to discontinue the current U.S. tour. Our concern for his personal health and safety, as well as our own, has left us no alternative. We hope that he will find the help he needs. We deeply regret that we're not able to come through for our fans who have already bought tickets. We can see no solution that would either ensure a safe environment on stage or reliably allow us to deliver a great performance on a nightly basis. Our hearts are broken. Dave, Eric, and Steven, the signatories of this message from Jane's Addiction.
You can't let Perry sing in a cage or something
Yeah,
to protect everybody else from him? I mean,
just put him in one of those, put him in a spit mask and a straitjacket and put them in one of those restraining wheelchairs that they have to haul prisoners around in.
Just put the microphone right in front of him.
Exactly.
He'll just sing his songs.
I
The
mean,
other guys
yeah.
will rock out.
Yeah, the spit masks. I mean, they allow audio to pass nicely.
It will sound muffled, but still, it's a live show.
How bad were things that they were concerned about their safety? What do they think, he's going to pull out a gun and shoot them on stage?
How about we just stay at different hotels?
All right, so that's Jane's Addiction. Now, guess what? Another band has announced they're ceasing touring in 2025 because of irreconcilable differences. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this band is an 70s and 80s band. It's a big staple here on Q105 on 104.7 FM. You're going to be very upset, Fester.
What? Who?
You're going to be very, very upset.
Who is it?
The rock band has announced that 2024 will be the band's last year ever touring together. In an announcement on social media yesterday, the band said that they would cease touring effective January 1st, 2025. In a statement, the band cited irreconcilable differences.
Don't just save that for divorce proceedings
between members Bruce and Kevin.
Oh, Bruce and Kevin.
Let me. I'm building up here. What's the band? Here's the statement. To our fans, Bruce has intended to be back on the road again by now. If it were up to just him, he'd be back on tour, but it's not up to just him. The consensus opinion was that he had not recovered sufficiently to be able to perform at the level the fans have come to expect. Bruce respected that opinion and is grateful that Matt has been around to keep the blank rolling. I'm leaving that out.
Yeah.
Through the summer tour.
Yeah.
Bruce never had any intention of retiring or walking away from the band, fans, and crew that he's loved for almost 50 years. For Kevin's part, he too has never had any intention of leaving the band, and the fans and crew mean the world to him. Due to this complex situation, irreconcilable differences arose between Bruce and Kevin, so it is with great sadness that we announce that REO Speedwagon will cease touring effective January 1st, 2025. Neil, Kevin, and Bruce think their fans for all those years. Thank them for loyal support and giving back. They can't fight the feeling any longer. They're done.
What?
I don't know what the hell are the irreconcilable differences. That's what I want to know. But I'll tell you what, they got a world of changes going on right now. That's what's going on. I guess they're saying, time for me to fly.
Yeah, that should have been the first song you played. Time for me to fly.
Yeah, they're flying all right. Flying right off tour. This is a great song. I want to know what the problems were. We're not getting the full story on what the issue is, but irreconcilable difference. Man, we got all kinds of problems. You got Journey. You got two members of Journey. You got Neil Schon and the keyboardist. They're involved in a lawsuit because the keyboardist apparently ran up $1 million in credit card charges on the Journey band credit card.
They canceled their tour.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hall and Oates want to murder each other.
They're never going to be together.
Yeah.
Aerosmith had the voice thing. They canceled their tour.
Steven Tyler. They all like each other, I believe, but you got Steven Tyler's voice.
No Steven Tyler, no Aerosmith.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Classic rock and old top 40. It's falling the F apart. What's going on, man? Great. It's time for me to fly. Yeah. There's still a little bit more here. Hey, who's next? Fly. What a great song. Yeah, the only place you're going to hear REO Speedwagon is on radio stations like this. Yeah, because they're done touring, folks. That's enough.
I saw them a couple of weeks ago. They were in town with Train. They were awesome.
You got the Hall & Oates guys. I mean, Daryl Hall, John Oates. You got Daryl Hall apparently wants to ice pick, Oates in the eyes.
He wants to take him to Daryl's house and hack him up in the backyard.
Bury him, feed him to the dog. So I don't know. Music is having a very tumultuous time right now with a whole number of bands. I mean, look what we just did in the last 10 minutes.
They're all a bunch of crotchety old men. They just can't seem to get along.
What's going on here? Yeah.
Come on, guys.
What was that, Andrew?
Yeah, Daryl Hall just scheduled a Tampa date.
What's the date and where?
Actually, Clearwater.
Where?
Let's see.
At Ruth Eckerd?
Coachman Park, Monday, November 11th.
Where?
Coachman Park.
The Sound.
At
the Sound.
At
Oh,
Coachman
yeah.
Park.
Howard Jones.
With Howard Jones. Life in a Day and
but Hall,
No One Is to Blame. Yeah.
Hall and Howard doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, I like some of John of Daryl Hall's
solo stuff.
Yeah. There's a number of Daryl Hall solo songs that I like. In fact, I use this as a rejoin bumper. You know, a lot of people might not remember this one from '86. Yeah, this was Dreamtime. I thought this was a great song. You know what? Hey, find out if this is on the set list, and I'll go see Daryl Hall. When is it? When is it? November. All right, yeah. Find out if he has a set list. Find out if he does Dreamtime. I'll go to see him. I don't know if Michelle will go with me, but I'll be happy to go see him. All right, 8:34 at the MJ Morning Show. What the heck is this? Women are eating dirt now, claiming that it's good for their health.
Dude, I told you I have that duck. They got to eat little pieces of dirt just for the digestive tract.
Oh, do you still have the duck?
I do. I'm getting rid of it this week.
Is our buddy taking it?
Yeah, he's taking it. We just
He
gotta
is?
meet up. Yeah. We couldn't meet up while I was out of town.
What was his name?
Randy?
So Randy took the duck that we smashed into Froggy's face.
Right.
And by the way, don't complain. We saved the duck wasn't hurt. That was the recreation of the Fabio incident. Because a couple of months back, it was the 25th anniversary of Fabio getting smashed in the face with that goose at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
So he took Fabio and got another duck named Giselle.
Right.
And then a couple of weeks ago, he went and got two more ducks named Froggy and Roxanne. And in short order, I'll give him the duck that I inherited, and that's Quackers, which will be joining his brood.
So...
But the duck has to eat little pieces of dirt, or granules of dirt to help the digestion. And you said people are eating dirt. I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
When is he taking possession of the little duckling now?
I don't know. I'll give him a call tonight.
And the duckling just living in your garage in a plastic, like, Rubbermaid bin?
I don't want you to think ducks live these luxurious lives. I mean, yeah, it's a real crappy life.
All right, two things here. So beauty lovers are eating dirt?
Clean out their innards?
And they're called crunchers? What? There's a name for this? Crunchers, or people that eat dirt. And they're not like keeping this under wraps. They're, I guess, more and more prevalent, and they're making their presence known on social media through videos and Instagram and Tick Schmuck accounts.
Are they eating like a whole plate of dirt or just like a couple of grains?
And you've got women that are also promoting this for your kids. Here's one woman, Stephanie Adler, says you want to improve your child's and your own gut health. Eat dirt. A teaspoon of organic biodynamic soil has more microorganisms than humans on Earth. Well, there are 8 billion humans on Earth. So you're telling me that just a spoonful of this organic bio dirt has more
benefits or
microorganisms? What?
I mean, it probably does on a micro
what
level.
What are they eating? Like potting soil? What are they? What is that? Miracle Grow? I mean, what if?
Honey, I have to show you this. You're not going to believe it.
God, I mean,
I've been eating Miracle Grow now for 3 weeks. And what do you think?
Are there any people eating dirt right now? Are there any people listening to the show that eat dirt for their gut health or for their overall health? Come on, I can't imagine anyone is going to phone up. But if you're a dirt eater, 800-990-1047. Let me hear from you. Let's go. If you're a dirt eater, let's fire up the phones, 800-990-1047. If you are one of these dirt eaters, I got to hear from you.
You got to figure. You sprinkle a little dirt on a salad, it'd mix right in.
I can't imagine anyone's going to call us up. I can't imagine anyone that's listening right now actually eats dirt and is one of these proponents for gut health and eating dirt. What did you just find on Google?
I typed into the Google, eating organic dirt, just to see what comes up. And then the AI quick answer spits out facts about eating dirt.
Surprisingly, eating dirt, known as geophagia, has been around for centuries, and some experts say that it may actually boost your immune system. This may be linked to why babies spend their first year of their life putting things in their mouth. Oh, God. Ugh, eating dirt. I know that some people, eat clay. Have you seen that?
They have minerals in the clay?
Yeah, there's some people eat clay, and I thought it was more of a pica thing. You know, the same type of disorder where people eat, like pencil erasers.
I started using pink salt for minerals. Right?
Yeah, you're fine. It's still it's sodium chloride with it's NaCl with just a little bit of,
trace minerals.
Just a little bit of coloring to it.
I'm not going to have a big bowl of pottery.
All right, the phones are ringing.
All right, are people eating this stuff?
I don't know. The phones are ringing.
Let's go to the phones.
Hang on. Andrew's screening calls here. He's got a couple of calls that he's dealing with right now. I want to know, do we have dirt eaters? Do you eat dirt? Are you part of this movement for gut health and beauty? Call up the eating dirt phones at 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Andrew, what do you have for me? Can I take any of these calls? Andrew's having...
Andrew,
what are you...
He's working.
Working on a date over there?
Looks like he has Tron in St. Pete.
And hang on a minute. Tron in St. Pete. Let me grab line 2.
Or T-Ron.
Good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this? Tron?
Yes.
All right, Tron, do you eat dirt?
Absolutely, sir. I eat a cup every day.
Dude, how old? Well, wait a minute. How old are you? Like 12?
No, sir. I'm 24.
You're 24 years old?
All right, Tron.
Yes, I'm a little stuffy today.
All right, and Tron, you eat a cup of dirt every day?
Yes, to support my dietary health.
Where do you get this dirt?
Hold on. First, Tron, what year were you born? Quickly, what year were you born?
2000.
Yeah, that took too long.
Took a little too long,
because that's easy math. 24 and it's 2024. It's 2000.
That's a simple question.
Yeah, all
Tron,
right. Yeah.
All right. Listen, I'll play with you, kid.
All right.
So where do you get this? How do you eat it, Tron? You sprinkle it on your cereal?
I'd like to boil it in a cup of water. I just take a cup of dirt and then boil it in a cup of water and drink it like that.
It's called hot mud.
All right, Tron, you're like 12 or 13 years old.
I want you to know.
Come on, come clean. What year were you really born in, Tron?
2010.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tron, I want to tell you right now, I appreciate the effort, Tron.
I do. I
love cranking radio stations.
Listen, I love your call. I think your call's fantastic, Tron. I'm not angry at you. I give you an A for creativity.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling.
All right, and Tron, you don't really eat dirt, do you?
No.
I mean, a cup a day was a little bit much, Tron.
I used to eat grass when I was little, but no, not dirt.
All right, Tron.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good. Why aren't you in school?
We're on our way.
Are you running late? Oh, there's Mom in the background.
His name isn't even Tron,
Look,
I bet you.
hey, Tron.
No, it's my grandma.
Oh, that's your grandma. All right, so why are you running late for school?
We're not. I'm in middle school.
Oh, okay. So what do you start at 9 o'clock?
9:40.
All right, 9:40. All right, hurry up. Get to school. Have a good day. And what's your real name?
You too.
What's your real name?
Gavin.
All right, Gavin or Davin?
Gavin.
G or a D?
D.
Babbitt? All right.
All right, anyway, have
See
a
you
good
later,
day. Have a
Tron.
day at school, buddy.
Bye, Tron.
You too.
All right.
See?
Yeah, I give the kid a little, give him a gold star for effort on that
I'm
one.
24. I'm a little stuffy today.
Come on. You can't pull one over on me. I mean, I knew he wasn't 24. Carl's in Brooksville. Got $50. Hey, Carl, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
All right, Carl, what about you? You eat dirt?
No, I don't eat dirt, but I had a wife one time that when she was pregnant, she ate dirt.
You had a wife that ate dirt when she was pregnant?
When she was pregnant, yes.
Then why did she eat dirt when she was pregnant?
Man, I have no idea. She just was craving it. I walked outside and caught her with a spoon and asked her, "What the hell are you doing?" She was eating the dirt.
What, from the backyard or out of a bag of potting soil or what?
Just straight dirt at the yard.
Oh, my God.
Man.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks, Carl. Oh, boy. Listen, I didn't think we would get calls. We got one crank and we got Carl.
That's about what I thought we'd get.
There we go. No, but seriously, on social media, you have some of these influencers that are and you've got there's like a picture of a woman eating a spoonful of dirt and then using like a napkin to dab the corners of her mouth.
Sure there is.
Oh, my God. What the heck? That's nuts. Oh, and then also, speaking of eating weird crap, eating grasshoppers might improve your sex drive.
Dude, I heard that grasshoppers are going to like save the world from
Dude,
starvation.
I heard that when I was like 7 years old. I remember we used to have like the weekly reader. Remember, did you have the weekly readers when you were a kid?
Yeah.
When I was in grade school, like every week we'd get the weekly reader, that little like tissue paper little magazine they'd hand out. They'd have little stories in there. And I remember probably third grade, there was a story about grasshoppers, about how insects and eating bugs was going to supply the bulk of the world with protein. Well, now there's a new study out. Yeah, they say forget the kale, forget the quinoa. The next superfood is hopping around in your backyard. Yeah, researchers have uncovered surprising health benefits of a grasshopper-based diet. What was that? Was that Karate Kid grasshopper? Right? Grasshopper, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was ever really used.
Yeah, so they're saying that eating grasshoppers will give you better sleep, healthier hair, and a stronger libido. Yeah, the study was just published in the journal Food Science of Animal Products. That's lovely. That's fantastic.
Does your house get hit with these grasshoppers that are around? They start off as little black ones and they grow to be about 4 inches long.
No, I don't have those.
I have them up in where I am, up in L.A.
All the way up in Lutz?
All the Lutz area.
Yeah, they I don't have them in South Tampa. You have them in
But
Lutz.
There's a lot of these big, they start off as little black grasshoppers like early summer or in the spring, and then they grow into these big grasshoppers everywhere.
Right.
I want to eat them up.
So here's the deal. There's something else, and it's the 666 dating method. Are you familiar with the 666 dating method? I might need to go to phones on this. Right, as we wrap up an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ, I might need to go to phones on this. So when you hear, 666, you're thinking, 666. You're thinking all, Damien Omen 2 or something.
My name is Damien. I'm looking for love.
Yeah, no, this is something
I like
different.
it hot.
This has nothing to do with Satan. 666 dating, nothing to do with pentagrams and all kinds of spooky stuff. No.
Is it 3 sixes or is it a bunch of sixes?
No, it's 6. It's 666, and this is like a women dating method, and they call it the 666 rule. And they claim that this is what they utilize to find Mr. Right.
I've heard
The 666 dating rule. And this means the men have to be 6 feet tall, have a 6-pack of abs, and make over 6 figures. You know what? I want to go to the phones on this real quick.
Oh, I've heard a couple of other 6s that were in there.
Let's go. All right, 800.
I was going to guess one or two other things.
All right, that's enough. All right, 800-990-1047. Let me go back to phones here. All right. Are there any women out there that really utilize the 666 dating method?
So what are you saying it is? It's height?
It's men have to be 6 feet tall, have a 6-pack of abs, and make over 6 figures. All right, let's hit phones on this. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Are there any women out there that really subscribe to this? Do you do this? Is this a non-negotiable dating method that you have? Did you ever try this and then scrapped it? I just want to get a little feel out there whether this whole 666 dating method is real. 800-990-1047. Let's go. Fire up the phones. Let me hear from women right now. Have you heard of this method? Do you utilize this method? Have you ever utilized the method? Hey, even if you have friends that have talked about this, do you have friends that have utilized the 666 method that you won't go out with a guy unless he's at least 6 feet tall, 6-pack of abs, and at least a 6-figure income earner? All right, let me know. Let me know if you'd like to weigh in on this. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. Yeah, some women claim they use this to help narrow down the never-ending conveyor belt of guys that are just going to waste their time and not fulfill what they're looking for from a physical standpoint and from a monetary standpoint. All right, Andrew's screening calls, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take calls right after the break, if you'd like to weigh in on this. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you'd like to, and I see the phones are all ringing here. I got every line is ringing. Andrew's screaming. So I'm going to take, we'll come right back after the break and grab these calls. 800-990-1047. All right, Andrew, get some phone numbers, line them up, and we'll come right back after the break here on the MJ Morning Show 666. Let me talk about your carpets. Oh. It has nothing to do with Satan. It has nothing to do with Damien Omen 1, 2, or 3. No, the 666 dating rule. Some women subscribe to this, and a guy has to be 6 feet tall at least. That's the first 6. Have a 6-pack of abs, number 2, and make over 6 figures. That's the third 6. All right, right to the phones. Load it up. If you want to try to get in on this, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. We start with Tiffany in St. Pete. Hey, Tiff.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Tiffany. All right, so where do you stand on the 666 dating rule? And then Fester wants to add another 6, but that's a whole different story. All right, go ahead.
Well, I had to laugh because this is, I'm not sure what women are going by this rule, but good luck. I think that's probably, 9% of the population.
So you think 9% of the population fit into this 666 rule box?
Yeah, I mean, of course we want a tall man, sure, but 6-pack abs.
I'm out.
I mean, most men are a little under 6 foot anyway, but 6-pack abs, that's pretty hard to maintain. And I think you have to make 6 figures in order to possibly even survive in this world right now. But no, we just want someone who treats us kindly. Honestly, I'm a hairdresser here in St. Pete. I talk to a lot of single women, and we want kindness at this point.
Yeah, the hairdressers, you guys hear it all, don't you?
We hear everything, and I talk to single women every day, and no one mentions the 666 rule.
When a client is texting, you ever look over their shoulder to see what they're texting?
No, I try not to do that.
All right. Tiffany, thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
All right. Nancy in
Bye-bye.
St. Petersburg. Nancy, where are you on the 666 rule?
Well, I had to control myself and get off the road. I was laughing so hard.
Okay.
I'm an older person.
Right.
And I'll tell you, my experience in life, I've met the 6 feet. You know, that's great. I'm little. I've met the six-figure and the six-pack guys. But at this age, I'm 68 and single. And the 6 feet guy, the 6 foot guy, is bent over. He's no longer 6 feet.
He's
the
all hunched over like Quasimodo.
Right. They look more like they've eaten a 6-pack.
Right.
Because, you know, any day the babies do. And 6-figure, it's like a dream. That's just my opinion.
All right. I appreciate you checking in, Nancy. Thank you. Nancy, 68. We had a 12-year-old kid. We've got the best demographic spread in this entire market. If you want to hit the entire spread, we're your morning show. We're your radio station.
It's amazing.
Here. Yeah. Let me grab Justin in Tampa. We got 2 other guys on hold now. If any women want to check in on this, if any women are listening, what are your thoughts on this whole 666 dating rule? That a guy has to be 6 feet tall, have a 6-pack of abs, and have a 6-figure income. Are you a woman that subscribes to that? Or are you laughing about it as well? Or do you know somebody that's suggested that? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 if you want to call in on that. Justin in Tampa. Hey, Justin, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Going well. Go ahead.
Hey, man, I'm 31, and I actually fit all those descriptions, the 6 feet.
All right, so hold on. You're 31, and all of the 6s fit you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm even going to say that's BS. That's 666 rule. I'm also laughing at it. In reality, you know, if you don't have any charisma, you're not a kind person, you don't have any personality, you don't have soft skills, meaning knowing how to communicate and talk to people, you can be 7 foot tall, making $1 million, have an 8-pack, and you still won't be pulling many women.
You know what, Justin? That is those, I think, very wise words. Now, Justin, you're 31. What do you do for a living?
I'm in construction management.
All right, and you're doing 6 figures plus?
Yep.
Good for you. Fantastic. 31 years old. That's a nice achievement. Good for you.
Yeah, but yeah.
And how's the dating scene for you?
It's all right. You know, I've grown up all my life being a shy guy, so I haven't pulled many women as, you know, a guy that's not shy. But
right.
I mean, that just goes to show right there. Also, it doesn't matter if you're 6 feet, have a 6-pack, or make 6 figures.
So what's missing is the very important personality aspect, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important thing. I know plenty of guys that are 5'7", 5'6", and they have no problem with women.
Yep.
In reality, people just need to get off the internet and get out in the real world and communicate with people, and they'll see what the.
Hey, listen, there was a story that I saw last week. I think I might have quickly mentioned it, but there was an item last week that I wanted to spend some time on, but just time got away from me. That folks are getting tired of the regular dating sites, the dating apps, and what's hot right now are hobby sites that people are meeting more on the sites that promote hobbies.
Yeah, for sure. So I do agree with that. I think the dating apps, I've done all the dating apps. In my opinion.
Which dating app, Mike, which dating app, I'm sorry, this is Justin. Mike is next. Justin, which dating app was the worst?
I would say Tinder, because that's been known to, get a fast hookup or something like that. But I've done the Bumble and the Facebook dating. They're all right, but most of the time it's a waste of time. A lot of people are on there just for the attention. And, a popular thing people are now doing is like run club meetups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to meet.
Yeah, again, there was a whole item last week about, we maybe ought to expand on that maybe later this week, that people are starting to meet more on these hobby and mutual interest apps or sites than the dating sites. Justin, best of luck for you, buddy. You sound like a nice young man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it, man.
All right, Mike is in Wesley Chapel. Mike, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, MJ?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I don't like that 6 figure, that six pack, and all that, man. Let's really ask, who is asking those questions? what does the women look like? Now, you can't be asking for all this and then you look like a big bag of chips or something like that, you know?
I mean, depends on the chips, but
You just got, when you said bag of chips, you just got Fester's attention. He was dozing and just snapped right up.
I've had some relationships.
Where are the chips?
Listen, I've dated a couple of Doritos, if you know what I mean, and it was all right.
Very triangular, huh? Good call, Mike. Thank you, buddy.
Follow
Mike,
me at S1K Go Hard.
Okay.
Mike, how old are you?
He's giving that his
I'm 29.
handle.
Mike, do you follow me on Instagram at Certified MJ Radio?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good. All right, Mike is 29.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I listen every morning. You guys crack me up. I love the show.
He wants to follow back, MJ.
Thanks, Mike.
That's 1K Go
Yeah,
Hard.
yeah, I better get a follow back, MJ.
All right, send me a DM. Thanks, Mike.
All right.
All right, back to the women. Let me grab. I'm gonna grab Kim, Darla, and Lauren. All right, in that order: Kim, Darla, Lauren, and we'll finish up with Lauren. Kim is in Palm Harbor. Kim, where do you stand on this 666 dating rule?
I believe probably when I was in my 20s, that was the goal. But let's be realistic. I'm 50. That is not going to happen. Totally different goals now.
Well, unless you go for, some, 20 or 30 something that, likes to chase the cougars,
Absolutely not. That is disgusting. I'm looking
yes.
for a quality man.
There you
I
go.
want brains. I want care, concern. I don't care what their body size is, what their body type. I just want the true connection.
Oh, awesome. And how's that working out for you now, Kim?
It's not. I'm still single. Men are crazy, no matter what they look like.
Yeah. So were you previously...
No matter their money, body figure.
Yep. Now, Kim, were you previously married?
Yes.
All right. How long you been divorced?
20 or so years.
All right. And have you... how many guys have you dated in the 20 years that have passed?
Probably 3.
And were any for any significant length of time?
Yes.
All right.
They were about 4 years each.
Oh, wow. So that's a total of 12 years. All right. And right now, the desert is kind of dry, huh?
The desert is kind of dry.
Absolutely.
That's how you're saying it, MJ? The desert is kind of dry.
The well, I should have said.
The desert is
all right,
kind of dry.
The well.
So, Kim, it's very arid, huh?
Let's
Bunch of
just
camels
say
walking
the
around.
dating pool. We want quality,
Right.
true men.
Gotcha. Listen, Kim, I wish you the best, and I hope that your dreams come true, okay?
Thank you, MJ. Have an awesome day.
Yeah, I hope
You
the
too.
desert gets its seasonal rain.
Fester, shut up.
The
All right.
desert's dry.
Darla is in Carrollwood. Darla, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Darla.
Good morning.
Oh, hi, hang on. We're adding, after Darla, we go to Lauren, and Andrew just hit another line. We're going to go to Deanna last, because Deanna apparently married a 666er. All right, hang on. All right, Darla in Carrollwood, go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I definitely, when I was in my 20s and college and all of that, I'm 5'1" for the record, and I would not date anyone under 6 foot just because it was like the way to go. People that age aren't making 6 figures, but they all had abs. But I think anyone that's over 6 foot to some degree, like to the gentleman that was talking earlier, is that they kind of have astigmatism. They know that they're hot and looking good, but the ones that are a little bit shorter, I'm coming to find out, have the best personalities and make up for all of the stigma that everyone has on them.
Hey, Darla, guess what?
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes, personality. Let's go.
Yeah, Darla, I can tell you, he's not much to look at, but boy, he's full of riz, man. I tell you,
I'm all rizzed up good. I got riz coming out the waz.
Everywhere.
I got riz out the way. Look, I'm going to turn to my... Look at the riz coming out the waz.
Whoa.
On MJ TV, baby.
All right, come on.
Well, it's funny because my ex-husband's 6'4",
Yeah.
and everything was great and whatnot, didn't work out. And then after that, I ended up having a kid with someone that was under 6 foot, and she's the most beautiful girl ever. And then now I'm back to someone over 6 foot. So I mean, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you
but,
are.
I would say personality is under 6 foot is pretty It's for the win. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. And Darla, how old are you?
I'm 37.
All right. 30. And what age range? Are you dating guys older, same age, or younger?
So all my friends would make fun of me, but I was like a mild cougar. I would always go for, if I found out that you were my age, I was like, oh no, you've got too much control issues. But the guys underneath, they made me feel young, and I felt like my funky personality matched that. So I did that for pretty much.
All right. So what was the youngest guy you dated? How much younger than you?
Okay, well, let's be honest. It's my baby daddy, who's 6 years younger than me.
Right. That's not terrible. All right. So,
Yeah.
and how long ago did you have your kid?
She just turned 3 in August.
All right. So you said you're 37 now. So you're 34, and that made him what? He was 28.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
math. Yeah, he's 30 now, and I'm 37. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Thank you, Darla. Good conversation.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening. Tell all your friends to listen to the MJ Morning Show on 104.7, okay?
You got it.
All right, thanks. Hey, don't forget, folks, it's 9:12 right now. The Cash Kitty comes back at 10. So the Cash Kitty is back right after the MJ Morning Show, and another chance to win $1,000 at 10 o'clock, then 12 noon, then 3 p.m., then 5 p.m. today. Cash Kitty on Q105, 104.7 FM. All right, let me grab Lauren, and then Deanna will be the last call. Lauren, thanks for holding. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
Lauren, it does not have a geographical location on my screen. Where are you calling from?
St. Pete.
All right, awesome. Go.
These women that are coming up with these 666, this is my dream man, I'm guessing they're probably the same women that judge whether or not they'll accept a man's proposal based on the size of the diamond in the ring. They're superficial. They're judgmental.
I thought you were going to say the size of something else, but that's...
What are they offering? I have taken a man that makes me laugh, that spends time with me, that dotes on me, that loves me unconditionally over money and all that crap any day.
How old are you? Lauren, how old are you?
I'm 40.
40. Awesome. And where are you now? What's your current status? Are you looking or are you happily ensconced?
I am happily married. I've been miserably married and miserably divorced. Well, then happily divorced, of course. Then long-term relationship with someone else. Absolutely not. I am so happily married now.
It's fantastic. This is awesome. I can hear the happiness exuding from your phone call. It's phenomenal. So,
yes, sir.
Lauren, thank you for listening. Spread the word about the MJ Morning Show, okay?
You got it.
Thank you. All right, last call on this. Deanna is also calling from St. Pete, and she claims that she dated and married a 666er, and that is at least 6 feet tall, a six-pack of abs, and makes over six figures. Deanna, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. Well, let me tell you, when I first saw him, I almost fainted. I thought, man, what a man that is. And he's
So you're saying that your eyes shot out of your head like on springs, like on one of those cartoons.
that guy. I want to know who he is.
Yeah.
We ended up dating. I got the jewels, the fancy cars. We went to Vegas. We got the VIP everywhere we went. It's like, wow, I was on cloud 9. And ended up giving me a big rock for marriage. Wow, this is wonderful. Oh, my goodness. And ended up that, there's not a mirror that goes by that he don't have to look and see how handsome he is. There's not a girl that walks by that he doesn't see. His head will turn and watch her walk all the way out the door.
Yep.
It's like, okay, after a few years of that, it's like, okay, this ain't what it's all cracked up to be in after all. So gave it all up. See ya, bye, have a nice life.
All right, so how long have you been divorced from your 666er?
Oh, well, this was when I was young and fancy free, but I'm not so young anymore. But this was back in, oh goodness sakes, I think I was in my late 30s then.
Gotcha.
But I'm in my 60s now. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, he taught me a lesson. I hadn't got married since.
All right, Deanna, been there, done that, Deanna. Thank you, Deanna.
They're not what they're cracked up to be.
Have a great day. Look, it sounds like she's got the experience. All right, man, those phones just blew up on that. And then, of course, Michelle had to text me the other 6. That great.
Yeah, a 600 horsepower car, right? Fast car, a lot of money, abs and honey.
Oh, man. All right. Your daughter's what, 12 now, going on 13, right?
Yeah, she'll be 13 in a couple of weeks.
What would you have done if your daughter Hadley grabbed your Lincoln Town car at 8 years old and drove 10 miles to a local Target to do some shopping?
I mean, I'd probably be beaming with pride.
Yeah, really.
That's pretty awesome.
Hey, how was the parking job? Wow.
Your 13-year-old stole a car?
Yeah.
That's great.
No. 8-year-old.
8-year-old. Hudson's
Dude,
8.
Listen to me. I said 8
Well,
years old.
You asked her age. Okay, you threw me off.
Yeah. 8-year-old girl in Ohio was so bent on going shopping, she grabbed the family SUV and drove 10 miles to a local Target.
Do you know how hard that is? I mean, that's really impressive motor skills.
8 years old in the family SUV. Yeah.
Were there a lot of turns, or was it like just down one road? I mean, I want more information.
Well, I'll give you some info. So she takes off. The family realizes she's gone, and so is the SUV. They call 911. There's a big old police scramble.
So they think the car got taken and she was kidnapped.
No. They I guess they knew she took the car.
Where's that 911 call? Yeah, my 8-year-old car.
She emerged unscathed. Wow. A Bedford, Ohio police officer said, well, I finally found a woman who's more in a hurry to shop at Target than my wife. An 8-year-old girl. Yeah. 8-year-old took mommy's car and drove to Target in Bainbridge, Ohio. Not sure what she bought or if she was able to use her Target app to save 5%, according to the police department. So they're having fun with this on their social media. We did let her finish her Frappuccino. We're not mean.
I mean, they were just glad to find her in one piece.
Oh, man. The parents were very worried, reported her missing from their Bedford, Ohio home at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, along with the family's Nissan Rogue, a 2020 Nissan Rogue. It's a smaller SUV. You're familiar with the Rogue, right?
Perfect for toddlers to drive.
Cops began kind of putting the story together. Neighborhood folks were telling police that their home security camera caught the girl getting inside the SUV and driving off with nobody but herself. So this is Sunday morning. You can imagine. Her mother is like fast asleep. What was it, 7 a.m. on Sunday? Mom's sleeping. She gets mom's car keys for the Nissan Rogue out of her purse and hops in the vehicle. Mom is sleeping. Probably wakes up and is like, hey, where's my daughter? Where's my car? Calls the police, all panicked. Probably thought maybe the daughter was kidnapped. Cops, start talking to neighbors. Oh, who's got security cameras? So they start looking at the footage, and the girl's just getting into the car and driving off.
That's crazy.
On the way to Target. Yeah, so cops started receiving reports of a small child behind the wheel of a car. People are driving down the road like, what's that? Oh, man, there's a little kid driving the SUV.
I mean, you got to figure they weren't going the speed limit. They weren't just blending into traffic.
So 911 is getting rung up by people reporting a small child behind the wheel of a car. Police eventually found her, I guess, in Bainbridge Township, Ohio, in a parking lot of a local Target about 10 miles and 25 minutes away from the girl's home. Yeah, and she was found shopping inside the Target. Did she also grab mom's wallet and credit cards?
Yeah, she must have had a couple of bucks on her.
Yeah, police called her parents, but said that she would not be charged due to her age. Cops let her get in the car and drive home.
That's fine.
No, I'm kidding. They did. The girl also confessed that she smashed somebody's mailbox.
Oh.
She drove off the road and smashed somebody's mailbox.
We're going to have to replace that.
Yeah, and left a dent in her parents' vehicle. No one was injured, and the girl will not be charged. 8 years old. and hell-bent to get to Target.
Target has a lot of good stuff. I mean, when you got to make a Target run, you really got to make a
I guess
Target
you
run.
really got to make a Target run. All right, 9:21 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Final segment. I got a lot of stuff to cover. Also, I believe Stacey Kemp is going to roll in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Stacey Kemp from the Kemp Law Group. She needs to record something. I say, hey, come on to the studio. Give me a couple of interesting cases. Let's talk about the horrific drivers keeping your office busy with unfortunate victims getting smashed by terrible drivers that are, on their phones, etc. All right, so Stacey Kemp, folks, you might hear some interesting stuff next about just the car accidents around town, why you should stay off your phone while driving. I mean, you could get nailed financially if you cause an accident and you're at fault and you're negligent. So hold on. We'll talk to Stacey Kemp in a few minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I love the roof job.
I'm shocked at this
Hear the
information.
latest. Yeah, so I don't know if P. Diddy is going to have the indictment unsealed before the end of this program. Yeah, we're hoping that we can get the information, but I don't think it's going to happen. You got the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. MJ and Fester and Andrew. Stacey Kemp ought to be rolling in a few minutes in our final minutes here on the program. Now, the P. Diddy indictment is supposed to be unsealed. They say this morning, but it's maybe closer to late morning, Fester, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They're just getting started. It's been a busy day over there at the Homeland Security office. Are these the same Homeland Security people that we have to see at the airport?
No, that's TSA.
Oh,
But
okay.
TSA is a part of Homeland Security.
Okay.
No. No, dude.
I don't want some guy working LaGuardia Delta and then having to go get P. Diddy.
So if you don't know the story, the breaking news last night, about 10 o'clock last night, news broke that Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in Manhattan by HSI. That's Homeland Security Investigations, federal agency, their law enforcement in Homeland Security, and they typically deal with human trafficking cases. And we believe that we have a bunch of the stories that have unfurled regarding P. Diddy, over the years, and you have, multiple lawsuits that have been filed against him. 3-4 women have come forward with complaints about P. Diddy. But I'm guessing that there are going to be more revelations and more details that we don't even know about in whatever indictment is unsealed against Sean Combs.
Yeah.
Which will be later this morning, I imagine, because they said that it's going to be unsealed today. I was hoping it would happen. I would imagine there's going to be a presser. Andrew, can you see anywhere if it's been announced that there's a press conference with the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District in New York?
I see that the attorneys are at the courthouse, but I don't see a time of a press conference.
All right. Yeah, so it's going to be after the show. So we'll be talking about the follow-up on this tomorrow morning here on the MJ Morning Show. But he's in trouble. The raids at his home in South Florida, the raid at his home out in Beverly Hills. The Beverly Hills home is up for sale for like $61 million. I think he's trying to liquidate.
Who's buying that right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm buying P. Diddy's home. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, I don't know if you were here, but
it was last week. I missed it.
I think you missed it. Yeah, Roxanne and I were talking about. Yeah, you know what? That's probably not a good selling point.
Yeah.
You're liquidating a $61 million house. In before the federal indictment comes down. Yeah, who's in a rush to buy a federally indicted individual's home for $61 million?
Is Remax of Beverly Hills mentioning that while they're doing the tour?
Fantastic. Hey, I don't know what the hell's going on, but last I saw there were like over 175 threats to Hillsborough County schools. We have threats made to Pinellas County schools, Polk County school. What is going on with all of these threats? And one of the threats, as we spoke about on yesterday's program, was this threat at Newsom High School, out in
Lithia?
Lithia area. And the sheriff's office has issued a reward for information. A $5,000 reward has been offered for information regarding the threat made against Newsom High School. So $5,000 is the number, according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And I just don't know what's going on. There was a threat to bring a bomb into the school and even shoot a teacher.
It just seems like there's so much copycat stuff going on.
I don't know. There was a huge lockout. This was back on Friday, of all dates. Friday the 13th, there was a whole lockout and a lockdown, and parents couldn't pick up the kids. You had Hillsborough County deputy sheriffs that were
searching bags, going through metal detectors.
Yeah, they were going through all the bags, not just the students. They were going through the bags of the teachers as well, the administration. Everyone was getting searched.
Seems like a tremendous waste of resources.
At
for the
Newsom,
fees.
all because somebody issued a threat against the school that turned out to be bogus. But what is going on? I hope that somebody collects the $5,000 and they can find who the cretin was that threatened the school. And it's not just Newsom; it's other schools that are subjected to threats as well. Hey, Stacy Kemp just rolled in.
Hey, Stacy.
Stacy, grab that. If you want to grab a seat right there, have a seat and pull that microphone right in front. Stacy Kemp, of course, we are in the Kemp Law Group studios here at Q105, 104.7 FM.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing well. How are you, Stacy?
Well, I was just strolling by here in the area. Thought I'd stop in, say good morning.
Awesome. So I mentioned to the folks that you were going to be stopping by. And, when I drive home, first of all, the maniacs on the Howard Franklin Bridge at 10:15 in the morning when I'm headed home. It's unbelievable. The number of people, and I've told our audience to just look for this. When you're driving and you're passing somebody, just take a look at the car to the left and the right. Or if someone's passing you, just take a look. The number of people on their cell phones, it's unbelievable. And I'll sit next to somebody and I'll watch while they're driving 65 miles an hour and their eyes have not moved from their screen on their cell phone for 15, 20 seconds while their car is pointed, going straight, well, hopefully, at 70 miles an hour. It's insane.
Well, I think a lot of people are sort of relying on that self-drive,
Oh, the new Tesla with the self-driving is fantastic.
Well, a lot of cars have it now.
I know.
I mean, it's not a good thing to rely on, but
I know that I'm seeing people that don't have the auto driving feature that are just buried in their cell phones.
The 2008 Kia didn't offer the self-driving feature as they're sitting there buried in their phones.
All right. So, Stacy, you've been doing personal injury in the Tampa Bay area for a long time. There has got to be an increase in distracted driving crashes. I mean, it's got to be going through the roof.
well, we can always tell when there's more cars on the road and there's more distracted driving. This month, we have had a ton of accidents.
Yep.
And whenever school gets let back in and more people are coming to Florida and things get busier, there is just accidents everywhere, everywhere you go.
And a warning to those driving that if you get into an accident and you cause the accident and you're on your phone, one of the first things you guys do as attorneys is you subpoena cell phone records, right?
Well, you can. But most of the time, if you cause an accident and you're on your phone, we don't even need to.
Right.
I mean, you rear end someone, liability is pretty clear.
Right.
So, and that's what's happening. People aren't paying attention to what's in front of them, and they're looking down, and then they're just rear-ending people.
Of the last year or so, any particular cases that you've had stand out? Any interesting stories, angles?
Like, was anybody trying to feed their pet gerbil or anything?
Anybody
or
with
a boa snake around their neck while they're bumper to bumper traffic?
Anybody with a full lunch buffet set up around their steering wheel, you know?
Like a big dashboard, or a little poo-poo platter right in the middle, roasting their own pieces of ham.
I bet you would hear some pretty insane stories from the officers that arrive at these scenes and see these people. Unfortunately, we don't get to do that, so we really kind of deal with the aftermath. But we've been terribly busy. The motorcycle accidents are terrible. All I can say is
look twice.
Look twice.
Look three times.
People really don't see them.
Yeah.
They don't see them. And I have friends that want to get them, and I say, just please don't. This isn't the place. This, if you want to ride somewhere in country where there's no cars. It's not you. It's everyone else.
Everyone else.
Everyone always thinks I'm so safe.
But also, you know what? I see a lot of the motorcycle riders, a lot of the older riders that are riding the Harleys, they tend to be law-abiding and respectful
Going
on
the speed
on
limit,
the road.
not
Exactly.
weaving in and out of traffic.
I was driving the other day on the interstate, and some motorcycle just flew by me, went down the middle of the interstate, around all the cars. to
Lane
avoid
splitting,
traffic.
right?
And I was thinking, does this person realize how close they are to just
to checking out?
Checking out?
Yeah, to check it out. Yeah.
They don't even care.
Yeah. The big Kawasaki in the sky. No, but seriously, I do notice that the Harley drivers, the older, they're law-abiding, they drive nice. But some of the younger drivers on the faster, the Kawasaki's, the Yamahas, the Suzukis, even some Ducatis. Some of them are nuts and are weaving and like sometimes making turns and putting their shoulder almost to the ground, and you're coming within inches of cars. I see it all the time.
And you don't see them, especially when the sun's in your face and you're trying to make a left-hand turn.
Right.
They're driving so fast.
They're driving so fast you don't even see them. The
can't hear
sun
them either.
blocks the view,
Yeah.
and it's over with. They cut right in front of them, and game over.
What about the slip and falls? Now, there's a lot of that. And listen, it could be a really good store, but if they're negligent and if somebody gets hurt and they slip on a piece of romaine lettuce leaf that's on the ground, or, I'm sure you've had stuff fall on people as well in a store.
Oh yeah, a ton of stories. We get videos a lot. That's the good thing about the slip and falls. But I will tell you, sometimes the videos don't help, because what you'll see is, people slip and fall on nothing sometimes.
I'd love to have a good
I know
slip
I
and
have.
fall.
And I think you tend to want to blame someone when you get hurt and you slip and fall and you're in their establishment, but sometimes it
just
isn't-
slipped.
You just slipped,
Yeah. There are real slip and falls. Other times people fall and it's not the store's fault. But then you've got some, I'm sure you've been hit up with some of the slip and fall scam artists over the years where they fake the slip and fall.
Oh, yeah.
Or I remember there was a famous video within the last
old
10
man
years.
in the ice machine.
There was a guy that was working at some place of business that had a break room and they had an ice machine, and you could see the guy on the video camera. They had a video camera in the break room. The guy goes to the ice machine, gets a cup and sprinkles the ice on the floor, and then walks and purposefully slips on the ice that he put there to try to make a claim.
Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah.
it happens even in car accidents. People
Yeah.
are faking car accidents. They're,
Oh, the insurance jobs.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
all over. That's going to be in any industry where there's people that try to take advantage
Yeah.
and make money when they really aren't deserving. But there are legitimate hurt people, and that's what we're here for here.
Absolutely. Do you sniff that out when they call you? When they call your office and you do the initial interview, are you sniffing out looking for fraud?
We do, because some people will try to lie about being at fault, like we're not going to figure it out,
Yeah, you guys will figure it out.
But we figure it out. It happens. But ultimately, we're really there to help the real injured people.
And there are a ton of legit cases that you guys
Absolutely.
work on. Anyway, thanks for being a great sponsor here on the MJ Morning Show and on Q105. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. It's kemplaw.com.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
All right. Great to see you, Stacy. And before we get out of here, Fester, I'm going to save this for tomorrow. I've got a Costco. I got a Costco quiz for you.
I love Costco.
Also,
quizzes.
you know what? I didn't get to this yesterday. I didn't get to this today. I've got this huge pile of, and me and airplanes. I'm a freaking airplane nerd.
Really? I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
I did not know.
I think I might have said a time or two, if I didn't pursue broadcasting, I might have pursued becoming
a stewardess. Yes.
Yeah, flight attendant. No, a pilot. But this is interesting. Delta Airlines issues a memo about wearing underwear to flight attendant applicants.
Oh.
Delta Airlines has reminded prospective new flight attendants that they must wear underwear in a document outlining the company's appearance requirements for employees.
What's the verification process of that, and how do you apply for that job?
Yes, Delta flight attendants, you must wear underwear when you're cruising up and down the aisles asking for whether they want coffee, tea, or biscotti, or what are those things called? The biscottis?
Those little crackers.
Like cinnamon cracker things that are so delicious. I was on American. They were selling those. They were
have them too on American.
They were serving those too on American.
Yeah.
I'm like, who had them first? Is American ripping off Delta by getting the Biscoffs or whatever those things are called?
More importantly, what's Americans' underwear
What's
policy?
their underwear
on their
policy?
Flight attendants.
I mean, you got to tell flight attendants you got to wear underwear. But how would they know?
The
airline
very thorough investigation.
Delta recently shared a 2-page document listing its strict guidelines for how those who hope to land the job should look on the website. And it has a new stipulation about underwear. It states that proper undergarments must be worn by interviewees, but must not be visible.
By interviewees? Once you get the job, forget it?
I want the whale tail coming out the back.
Yeah, something.
I want my Delta flight attendant with a whale tail.
Oof.
That's
aisle's only so big.
That's what we need. Yeah, this is great. In the interest of transparency and clarity for all prospective candidates that want to be a flight attendant for Delta, we're encouraging people to dress for success and give a great first impression as they aspire to join the flight attendant ranks. Delta Airlines reminded them that you got to wear underwear. Make sure stuff isn't showing. Delta also includes a whole list of other detailed rules regarding potential hires, appearances, touching on everything from why you can't have neon or multicolored nails.
You can't?
To what the length of your eyelashes are. You know what? I haven't seen those giant tarantula eyelashes on any Delta flight attendants.
I've seen them on a couple of gate agents.
What about a flight attendant all tattooed up? Are there any Delta flight attendants with their faces all tattooed up and all kinds of, lug nut hardware attached to their jowls?
I once had a flight attendant on a different airline that had a teardrop tattoo.
No, really?
Coming out of the eye.
Oh, the gang tattoo? Meaning she murdered somebody?
I did this last flight.
I murdered a passenger.
Keep this up, you're next.
Hacked them up and flushed them down the lavatory. Yeah. I just thought it was funny that Delta reminding flight attendants that, or possible flight attendants that are applying, you got to wear underwear.
Who do they think's doing the interviewing over there?
Yeah, really? What do they, like you drop your trow or your dress and, hey, show us your underwear? All right, 9:48 at the MJ Morning Show. We'll call it a day right here. I still have actually 8 other stories I didn't get to regarding air travel, which I find remarkably fascinating. I'll try to squeeze them in tomorrow, or else I'll just throw them in the trash. All right, have a great day. The Cash Kitty's coming up in 12 minutes. Cash Kitty hits again at 10 a.m., so minutes away, and you're shot to win $1,000. Then 12 noon, 3 p.m., and 5 p.m., the Cash Kitty is back on Q105, and your chance to win the loot. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Don't forget, give me a follow on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. People are loving the Instagram video that I posted over the weekend of me picking up the Halloween...
the crow?
The crow at Michael's and chasing Michelle. Yeah, it does. And I start pecking Michelle with a Halloween crow from the Michael's Halloween section. And people seem to love this video. Chloe said it's the funniest thing she's seen in a while. It's on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. Folks, have a good one. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And do me a solid. Let's be careful out there, folks.
Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app, powered by...